Sorry about that, everybody. Oh, me and the missus had a good... Hey, Cylon. Did you miss Daddy? Sorry, this is my oldest girl. Are you going to be a co-host tonight? Are you going to be a co-host? Hey, Jax, bro. Let me do invite, copy to clipboard. Paste chat. Hey, Ron, how you doing? You're such a good girl. Did you miss me? Hey, Bill. I just put the thingy up. Now, let me see how I do this. Oh. Hey, Static, how you doing? All right, no problem, Bill. Oh. All right. Okay. So how are you all doing? Sorry, I'm trying to understand this on this laptop. So sorry. Been outside and with the wife and having a nice little time tonight. I hope all of y'all are having a good night. Okay. Get that settled, set up. Got my little co-host right here, Cylon. So, okay. Tonight's discussion is going to be paranormal and cryptid pros and cons of our fields. Haha! I got this.
Hey.
Hey, what's up, sis?
What are you doing?
I finally got me a little mouse because I couldn't know how to work the laptop beforehand.
I heard the click.
Right. So
where's my raspberry donuts?
She has them all in the bedroom watching her Chinese cooking show soap opera right now.
Yeah, she is. Bogart.
Yeah. She's gotten into a lot of anime and Asian like TV shows.
Okay.
Yeah, I know.
What it is?
Yeah, well, she's an office jockey, so she sits there and she'll watch it while doing her stuff on the computer. So,
Right.
whatever makes her happy, I don't care. So,
Happy wife, happy life.
I know, right? Yeah, that is so true. So tonight, I want to know. I want to know. Oh, 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 oh. There's my brother.
Probably.
Yo, what's
What's up,
up,
Brian?
people?
What's
What's
up,
good?
Brian?
What's
Oh,
good?
sure. Oh, nothing much, man. Just got done with date night, and I thought I wasn't gonna make it on the time that I posted.
Date night. I'm jealous. What the heck, bro? I wasn't invited.
I'm sorry, Ryan. Next time it'll be a 3B.
Yo, now we're talking. That's what I'm talking about, Matt.
Oh yeah.
Hey,
Well,
Nicole.
Hey, Ryan.
Long
I'm
time
going
no
to
see.
start off and say that I received an email from a hunter tracker in the cryptid field saying that a pack of dogmen is now coming from the Okefenokee swamp of Georgia and going to Louisiana for some reason. And supposedly
Oh
this
my.
pack is made up of all 4 different types of dogman, 2 of each type.
Whoa.
Hmm.
Eek. Not sure what to
Yeah.
make of that though, because the fat heads are usually the eliminators of those things.
Right.
What do
And
you think?
I'm thinking that maybe they're a separate band that got loose and finally realized what they are, and
Hmm.
maybe guiding other packs or other Ronins to a safe location,
Hmm.
or they may be hauling them off to a special location.
That's possible. That could be. I've just never heard of that before, though. That's so new to me.
Right, and that I don't know how to believe that because dogmen are special creatures. Like they're more in tuned with humans than Sasquatch is.
Oh, for
Like,
sure.
they know how to hunt us, stalk us, kill us,
Hmm.
where Sasquatch kind of wants to be away from us and live on their own, you know, live far away from us. But uh, I don't know. But
Hmm. That's. It's just something I've never heard of before, though. All 4 types in one pack.
right.
It's kind of a mind screw.
What's up, Jax?
Oh,
Hey, Jax.
How you doing, brother?
doing good.
Oh, that's good.
Hey, what's up?
How you doing, Ryan?
I'm doing pretty good. How you doing?
Good.
I mean, it it just seems like there's more and more heat coming out of dogmen
Oh,
sightings and
absolutely.
reports lately.
Yeah, Dogman's kind of the popular trend right now in cryptozoology. So you got
Yeah.
to remember, as a trend increases in popularity, there's going to be more stories and more tales of supposed encounters.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all gonna have dogmen like we have demons.
Yeah, pretty
Right.
much.
Yeah. That's like the dogmen in the cryptid world is like our demons. Like they're you can't look up a story without somebody being stalked by one or
So true.
yeah. And most of these stories where people say they're being stalked and afraid for their life, if that was true, they would have been dead and not telling this story.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. The funny thing is, if you look back like 10, 15 years ago, there wasn't all these Dogman stories. It was all Bigfoot stories.
Right. And
Current trend, that's what it is.
yeah, it's. I don't know. I'm wondering if, because like you don't really hear anything of other cryptids. You don't hear any more sightings of, Mothman. You don't hear any more sightings of Chupacabra. You don't hear. I mean, it's kind of like you don't hear the possession stories in Mexico anymore like you used to in the 80s and the 70s. And why is that? Like, do the demons just say, "Oh, screw this, I'm going back into hiding for another 100 years," and pop up again? Or I don't know. It's very, I don't know how to describe it. Kind of like what you said, a fad, Is it just a fad? Is that the reason why? Is it?
It could very well be. I mean, maybe it's just to the point where it's the popular subject, so everybody wants to see that particular thing.
Right.
But once it's taken over by something else, they'll start seeing something new. You look at the Rake or Slender Man.
Mm-hmm.
When those first became a thing, everybody was seeing these things wherever they went. Now all of a sudden they just died out, and Dogman's a big thing.
Right. I mean, even though throughout history, Dogman has been reported and sighting through so many different cultures, and it's just like, oh, all of a sudden, they just come up from underneath a boulder, like, I'm wondering if more and more people was just misidentifying Dogmen as Bigfoot during the craze of the 60s and the 70s.
That's possible, because I was speaking to somebody earlier and they said that it wasn't a Dogman they saw back in the 80s. It was a Gugway.
Really?
So it could be a lot of misidentification on their part.
Yeah.
Is it possible? Yes. I mean, is it the likely cause? Probably not.
Yeah.
But yeah, you got to look at the way things are going, though, bro. I mean, there's so many stories out there and so many channels that tell nothing but Dogman horror stories.
That is true.
So that seed is planted. It's planted inside your mind. So you think when you go out there, you're going to see this, and you think you see it, and you really don't.
Well, the thing that's pissing me off now is how game developers are making fun of our hobby, our love. They have a ghost paranormal hunting game where you're driving around and you have the most advanced technology in the world, like in a trailer being hauled around on a gooseneck trailer with, with a dually truck. How many paranormal investigators have, a toy trailer and a dually truck to go to every area, and the money to pay for that?
The big ones, the entertainers.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, and I mean that's a game, and you have to go and you have to get a spirit to write in a book and do all this stuff. Then at the end of the game, you have, and it's not even just, it's not saying that it's a ghost or anything. The 4 topics that you can choose from is an evil spirit, a jinn, a demon, and something else. But it's not just like a normal haunting. Everything one of these is like a demon or something trying to kill you. And it's the same thing with crypto. They have hunting Sasquatch, where you're a group of hunters out in the middle of God knows where, hunting down Bigfoot, to drag his big, huge, hairy ass through the woods to put in a cage to take it back to civilization. And they also have a Wendigo game where you hunt the Wendigo and kill it. And, we're feeding, these game developers are feeding to these people, like telling them it's okay that all this stuff is evil and needs to be killed or hunted.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's a mockery to us, like people don't want to know the truth. They want a scare factor out of both of our fields. And if they don't get it from the paranormal hunters like Jackson Vale, they come to the cryptid hunters. And you know how it is, Ryan. I mean, yeah, it's
absurd, but you got to keep in mind, that horror does sell, fear does sell. It's what people are buying.
Hold on. Okay.
Oh,
hey, Lady Jax.
Hey, Lady Jax.
Yeah, Lady Jax. Yeah. Hey, Lady Jax. I'll at the end, I'm gonna do an open panel. Right now, it's just gonna be me and Ryan and out of both of our fields. And if they don't get it, okay. Anyway, sorry. But yeah, right now we're just going to do a panel with just us four because Jacksonville, they know the paranormal to where me and Ryan know the cryptid. So we're trying to let everybody know the pros and cons to each one of to our fields.
Sounds good.
Yeah. Then afterwards, we will have an open panel if you want to come up and ask questions that I don't see on the chat because I'm slow at the chat thing right now.
Well, at least you got your mouse today.
Yeah, I know, right? It sounds like I'm loading a gun every time I click the button.
I was going to say that actually here.
Right. So, what is y'all's opinion on these games in the fields, like Jacksonville?
To me, I mean, yeah, they are just more entertainment, and that seems like that's all it's about is the entertainment factor. Mm-hmm. And granted, I mean, everybody's going to play these games, and everybody's going to watch, the big entertainment channels. But I mean, I hate being put in that genre. We are just entertainment whenever it is an actual science that we are trying to do. And I think it just puts a big damper on things because then we're like a joke to everybody.
Right. I mean, Jackson.
Yeah, I feel the same way that she does.
Yeah.
It's just that it's a shame that we, as investigators, no matter what field, we have to work 10 times harder to prove what's actually out there.
Right. Do y'all feel that big name bedazzled shirt people has put a hamper on the truth of paranormal research? I mean,
absolutely, I do.
Yeah.
There's. I mean, that.
Hi, Cylon. Are you looking at them? Sorry.
Speaking of people that bedazzle shirts and shirts that are too small for them, when they have museums that supposedly have these haunted objects, who says that they're haunted? Him?
Yeah.
I want to see that for myself. And not in some museum.
You can for $59.95 a ticket.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm not paying him for anything. No.
See, like y'all y'all have the bedazzled, freaks. We have. Do you want to take that one, Ryan?
Ooh, I don't want to mention any names. It's really hard to avoid the names though.
Right.
Oh golly. Yeah, there's a guy who he claims to have the most clear footage of Sasquatch that you'll ever see. And for a certain amount of money, he will take you to where these Sasquatch are so you can interact with them. And I'm doing air quotes, by the way.
Yeah.
Because I suspect when he says interact with Sasquatch, it's one of his buddies out there wearing a suit and making funny noises. So you're going to pay $15,000 to go interact with some dude in a gorilla costume? I can do that for you outside, man. Just step outside of my parking lot. Give me 15 grand, dude. I'll dress up as Kong, no problem. But
Right.
guys like that, they make it really, really hard for guys like Matt and I, because if we don't have that clear photograph, they're going, well, how come you don't have anything, but he does? What's he doing so different than you? What's he doing better than you? And you're sitting there going, well, he fakes it better than me.
Right. I mean, he has the money that he's willing to blow to.
Well, yeah, if you had people paying you $15,000 a pop, man, you'd have a lot of money in no time at all. We could buy the best gorilla costume there is.
Right. I know. Like,
lose some hair on you for free.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, if they want, man, I'll chase them around my neighborhood for free, man. I'll make gorilla noises and pound my chest. It's not that much of a big deal.
Well, it's funny that he says that because there's a gentleman in the UFO field, again, not mentioning any names.
Right.
But he'll take you on a UFO hunt, and he claims that he can summon the UFOs. When you go, you can go as long as you pay him $2,500.
Oof.
Now, if you want to teach somebody, you don't charge.
Right.
That's just dead wrong.
Yeah. That's what I believe 100%. I believe more and more people that want to be a weekend hunter or a weekend paranormal investigator or whatever, they sit for hours and hours and binge watch paranormal hunting TV shows. They binge watch big name YouTube people like what's his name? Omar or CJ Faison or whatever, that any little pop or whatever, they're like, oh, did you hear that? Like, yeah, that was, a bird flying by you, like, but I laugh at watching their videos, but I can see how people that do not understand these fields can misinterpret it, like, because they know where to put these cameras so you don't see what they're hearing, like, and these people are going to get somebody seriously hurt or killed.
Yep.
It's one of those things. Just like I had a cryptozoologist tell me that my way of tracking and following Bigfoot as if I was like Bigfoot, following its feeding trails, following its, areas that it would live for 1 or 2 days, see if the water's there, enough food's there to sustain it, and move on to the next area, because they don't stay in one area. But I had another cryptozoologist tell me to not take any kind of survival gear with me.
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
Damn.
Told me not to take survival gear with me out in the middle of the woods, and only do researching about 3 miles away from where you park, and you will find the best evidence. Like, yeah, like
That's
Bigfoot's
funny.
gonna roll up and say, "What's up, bro? How you doing? Let's go down to Starbucks. I got you."
If only it were that easy, man. Oh,
Yeah.
You're not looking for Harry and the Hendersons, are you?
Oh yeah, that's my. That's
Oh, yeah,
the
why
one I
not?
want.
that's the one that we're all after right there. The one
Right,
that's gonna,
that would
yeah,
be the easiest hunt.
yeah. We want the one that's going to eat our daughter's corsage.
Right. No, the best thing of Harry and the Hendersons, in my opinion, that we don't take for granted. We think Harry and the Hendersons was, just a comedy. But at the very end, when Harry walks off in the woods and then you finally see the Sasquatch appearing out of nowhere, from behind rocks and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's really how they are out there, I've been hunting this for so long, and I've never came up with any video footage. I've never had Bigfoot sit there and stare at me and do a peace sign and let me take a picture of him. Yeah, there you go. It's like, and it's the same way, like the infamous ghost hunters full body apparition or whatever. How many times in y'all's field have y'all ever had a full body apparition picture or video of it walking by so slow? Vale. well, Vale's a different case.
What about yours the other night? You were standing right in front of it.
Well, I didn't see anything.
I even took pictures. I'm like, look, you can see its mouth moving, and
I know. I can see it through I can see that stuff through my camera, which is weird. But if I'm looking at it, I can't see anything. I don't know. I don't know what it is. It's like that tree that was glistening like Christmas tinsel, looking straight on at it. It was just a red cedar tree, but through the camera, it was just glowing and glistening. I don't know.
Welcome to the veil.
Yeah, right. But I mean, but for a regular person, say like me, to be able to catch a full body apparition on the camera is what? On a scale to 1 to 10, what, between a 3 and a 4, maybe, depending on the location?
Location, and if you know what you're looking for. And like I said, you had it right in front of you, but like I said, you didn't have those eyes until, like me, pointed out.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's for a normal person to catch that. I mean, it would be kind of hard. It's not impossible, I wouldn't say, but
Right.
I got to kind of watch what I say there. I mean, they're not just everywhere, but
Right. I mean, I've seen shadow figures. I've seen the black masses and stuff like that. That is easy for me to see because it will hit my peripheral vision or something. I can acknowledge it and actually look and see it. But I don't know. But the shadow, misty full bodies, I've never been able to see any of that ever.
Yeah, the real clear ones. I mean, I've seen some of these, and I had to laugh at them, honestly.
Yeah,
and they're where you could see the guy's hat, his whole coat, and everything. And they walk out in this lady's living room. I'm like,
yeah,
seriously?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There was a YouTube channel I followed a long time ago, and it it was a couple in Johnsonville, Tennessee, and it was like a everyday blog, like blog about the haunting in their house. Y'all have probably seen it. The most known video of this person is they were having a birthday party for two small daughters, and they were sitting in their kitchen, which was probably about the size of an apartment kitchen, and all of a sudden you hear this giggle on the camera. Then all of a sudden they're like, "Oh God, Mike, oh God, it's happening again. It's going to ruin our daughter's birthday party and everything," because they had twin daughters and they were probably maybe between 5 and 6. And all of a sudden you see the water faucet turning on full blast. Then it turns off. Then all of a sudden the microwave turns on, and there's nothing in the microwave but tinfoil it starts sparking like tinfoils in there. Then all the drawers start like opening all the way, slamming and everything, and like it falls out, and plates are being thrown out, and they're just like freaking out, and they grab the kids and like run out of the house.
Okay.
And yeah, and it was stuff like that every day happening in this house of theirs. And then all of a sudden, like it was like 3 years of this going on. Then the channel got shut down, like just disappeared. And I don't know whatever happened to that channel afterwards. Yeah, it was weird. Like there was this one, they went into the bathroom and they were going to run the shower and everything, but the shower wouldn't turn on. But all of a sudden they turn, and the mirror on the medicine cabinet fogs up completely, and you see like it was already written or something, but it says death across the window, and it just fogs up.
Really good
Like,
editing.
I don't know. I don't know. This was I want to say it was maybe 2007 I followed them, and it was really low grade camera quality and everything. I don't think these people were smart enough to know how to like plan this stuff.
Okay.
Because the reactions in their voice said it all. You know, it was like
Planned?
they were terrified.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And
So you're actually believing in what they have?
yeah, I actually believe that happened. Like, I mean, today with all the fakes and everything that I see now, maybe I could go back and say, yeah, they probably knew what they were doing on some of it, but the one birthday video where the drawers and the cabinets were just slamming so fast, there wasn't anything that really at that time that could do that, you know? And like it shot out one of the cabinets like a rocket onto the ground.
Poltergeist activity, Jax?
Yeah. I don't know. That's why I have y'all.
That's what comes to mind to me, because spirits take a lot of energy. I mean,
yeah.
But it also depends on how old they are too.
Gotcha.
You know,
See,
if you have a child, even if like a child at 2 years old, that has passed over. He's not going to know enough to realize that I have to build up energy. So he's just stuck there. You know what I mean?
Right.
But if you have but the older spirits, like the older ones that from 1600s or whatever, over this period of time, they've built up that energy, that power. They're more powerful than someone that just passed in yesterday.
Right. See, that's what I've always wondered too. I always wondered if it like what you were saying, somebody that passed away, say in the Revolutionary War, and they've realized, they finally came to realize after 100 years or whatever that they are dead. Like, can they build up power kind of like a Pokemon?
I want to know what Vale's thinking. She's giving me faces over here.
Right.
I think your younger ones are more powerful because they are more recent. That energy is still fresh.
Yeah.
Where it comes to play in, I mean, a lot of your younger ones really don't know what's going on yet, so they it could be confused. They do have the energy to do things. It's just, what the hell do I do with it, kind of thing.
Right.
The older ones that I feel, I guess Jax is different than me, but it seems like they've been there so long that it's like a used light bulb. I mean, they really have to use everything from you and cameras to get your attention.
Gotcha.
And once they do, I mean, since they know where they are, they've been there for a while, they know how to manipulate these things, and they are more visible than the younger ones. They speak out more clearly, like use the SB11s and stuff like that.
See, the thing, Ryan can agree with me on this. I brought out the idea of the younger generation of Sasquatch and Dogmen and stuff like that, since they're in this day of age now, they are more susceptible to using our technology now, lighters, and because they could sit on the side of the road in a park and watch how many people will light up a cigarette using a lighter and no fire comes from that. And to where the older Sasquatch, they don't want to mingle with humans that much. So they're not going to be the ones that will know about technology and stuff. So you want to go? You want to go on that, Ryan?
Yeah, I'm going to say a little bit about that. I think the younger generation, they're more brazen, but they're more observant as well. Because of that brazen attitude that they have, they're going to get a lot closer to us, and they're actually going to watch us for a longer period of time. Whereas the older ones are like, well, we know what humans are. We don't like them. We're going to stay away from them. You got the juveniles coming right up and actually watching us through windows. So I think as they keep doing that, they are actually learning from us. Yeah.
And see, that's what I'm wondering. The next generation, like how Vel was saying, the younger spirits, they're more susceptible and maybe more powerful, and I guess on the crypto side, the younger ones are going to be the same way, because they can, they look how many people's getting into bushcrafting and survival and stuff like that, and going out in the woods and, creating stuff using knives and whatever. What if a Sasquatch, or a younger Sasquatch, or a Dogman runs a bushcrafter off, leaving his whole campsite there, and now he has a playground of new toys that he can learn from.
Right.
It's completely possible. Monkey see, monkey do.
Right.
I mean,
And,
I got a quick question on that.
yeah.
Do you guys think that, okay, like Ryan was saying, that the younger generation of Bigfoot or whatever, you know, they looking through the window and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Could it be
Mhm.
that their natural habitat is slowly but surely disappearing, and that's why that they're actually coming to people's houses?
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Encroachment is a big problem here.
Yeah, I mean, if you look, there's been a recent video uploaded by the Canadian Forestry that they were tearing down I think it was either an 8 or 10 mile patch of dead spruce trees, and there was something picking up half cutting down tree trunks and throwing them like on those Scottish strength commercials.
I seen that. I saw
Yeah.
that video.
Yeah, like just throwing them like they were nothing at
One
these
hand.
guys.
One
Yeah.
hand.
Yeah, like it was nothing, and they got the shadow of it walking off. And when they tried to chase after it and get a closer view of it, it threw a huge rock towards them, and they were like, "Nope, I'm done."
That's what I would do too. Just nope, not today, Satan.
Right. What do you think? Okay, we'll start with the paranormal field. What do you think is hurting the paranormal field besides what we mentioned earlier? Like, does creepypastas or any of that affect paranormal? Like, if you come up and tell somebody you're a paranormal investigator, do they say, "Oh, I've seen this show" or whatever to give y'all a bad rep? Or
Go ahead, Jack.
Well, as far as creepypasta goes, I mean, creepypasta could actually very well help the field, because
Right.
if you got so many freaking people believing in something, it's created a tulpa,
Yeah.
which is just a massive amount of energy that manifests something that's not originally there. So say like if, you know, Slender Man, okay, everyone's posting videos, you see videos all over the place, and be careful what you wish for.
Right. But have you ever had anybody ask you to investigate a place thinking that Slender Man is in their closet? Or yeah, like that. I think that's what I'm trying to get at. Like, have y'all ever had like people that really believe that creepypastas are real enough to actually get investigators to come to their place or something?
I have not.
Okay.
But that being said, I have been on an investigation where we stopped at the edge of this field. I've told the story before.
Right.
We stopped at the edge of a field, and there's 4 of us, and we're all shoulder to shoulder. And somebody says, "Does anyone else get the feeling of stop?" And we all said yes. Well, we had a flashlight. We're shining the flashlight on the field.
Right.
All of a sudden, you see 2 big black masses walking through tall grass at an angle like this.
Okay.
So I'm thinking immediately, are they flanking us? Are they going to come around us and around the back? Well, what's oddly enough is that tall grass, you could see the grass parting as it's walking through.
Yeah.
That tall grass was at least 5 foot tall.
Right.
These things were towering over it 5 to 6 feet. So originally we thought that there were maybe they could have been apparitions of Bigfoot. I don't know. I don't know.
I've always wondered, because they say Bigfoot is a spirit creature. Bigfoot is God knows everything in the freaking world. I mean, why can't they be a part of the paranormal world after they die? Like, like you have a Sasquatch, Jedi ghost or something, like I don't know. It just I'm not trying to make fun of it, but but the way people explain Bigfoot, there's so many different explanations on it. Like, but if it is a flesh and blood creature, then it should be able to have a spirit just like me and y'all. Like why can't they haunt a location also?
So you mean like a phantom almost?
Yeah, like
well,
like
I mean, let's put it this way.
That makes total sense.
You get dogs and cats, okay? Every living thing has a spirit, okay?
Right.
Let's get this out of the way. I know people that've seen dog apparitions. I know people that have seen cat apparitions. Okay, so as far as chickens,
cats, yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, cat, yeah.
So, I mean, as far as why can't they be in the world of paranormal? I'm one of those people that think that cryptids, UFOs, aliens, all that stuff is in the paranormal field.
Right.
And so it's all intertwined with each other.
And
if you got, so like, I just lost my train of thought.
All connected on the paranormal field.
So why wouldn't it be? I mean, if they can, people will say, what a ghost exactly? Can they phase in and out into another dimension? Well, how do we know that Bigfoot can't actually do that?
Right.
It could be a flesh and blood creature, like you said, but maybe it can phase out, and that's why they just like disappear. Don't know.
Well, speaking of that, okay. The Blackfoot Indians have a myth that every 100 years the earth cracks open on the Blackfoot land and a lizard-like being emerges from the ground, and they had to send their best warrior out to kill it and bring back the skin. And they literally have a dried out dinosaur-like skin that was killed from the last 100 years ago. And they have shown it, and it does not look like any kind of dinosaur known to date. But what if they are connected to the earth somehow, like those lizard creatures are in somewhere in the earth and climbing up out of a hole? Like, why can't Bigfoot use the veil or use a ley line to get to wherever that they want to go? And
it's true.
Yeah.
It's very possible.
Right. I mean, we don't know this because half of the people in the cryptid field are armchair researchers now. Like, they told me that my way of hunting is obsolete. Like, I should not be doing. I've had people on my channel and everything telling me that I'm going to get their kid killed because they want to go out and hunt and do it the way that Second Star does it. Actually get out in the woods and do it. And I got the backlash saying, I'm going to get somebody's child killed because of that. So,
well, that would be on the parents, right?
Yeah,
That
you're
would be
teaching
on
them
you.
the right way, though. You're showing them how to survive. I mean, it's up to the parents to tell them do or don't do this.
Correct.
right.
And really, like I told you before, if you go back to the Indians, I mean, they actually seen more of Bigfoot then. Was it because they were more primitive and they appreciated the land and lived off the land and they could see them more on a daily basis than
Right.
all this new technology going on?
Mm.
Yeah. I mean, if you send a drone up in the air and you're trying to find Bigfoot in a 200 plus mile wooded area, do you really think you're going to get any kind of video footage from that?
No.
I mean,
Only if you're lucky, man. Only if you're
Yeah.
very lucky.
You got to see through the canopy for one, and a lot of those drones you cannot see through the canopy.
yeah. But if you watch like Monster Quest or the Squatch people, that's the first thing that they go to. They go to technology, like, to make their job easier. And I've seen trail cams destroyed being on a trail because they give out a red beam that animals can see. You think something with, I'm not going to say above human intelligence, but, close enough to human intelligence that they're just going to, walk by a trail cam and see that red light and not know what's going on.
Well, the only way to possibly even get something in a 200 square mile possibly is like with a helicopter with thermal.
Mm-hmm.
And
Well,
that's even stretching it because
Yeah.
then they'll run with the sound of the helicopter.
Right.
Well, not only that, but most Sasquatch cover their fur in mud.
It's
And
true.
yeah, infrared may not work depending on what you're hunting.
Mm-hmm.
Very,
But-
very true.
I mean, I've seen videos out there where people, I saw one video. The guy sounds like I can't even find it. I've tried to find it and the video's disappeared.
Yeah.
But this guy was having a conversation with a Bigfoot. And they were talking back and forth, supposedly, in the video.
Yeah.
I mean, the Bigfoot was calling the guy brother.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. Sasquatch, Ontario.
Is
Yeah.
that what it was?
Yeah.
Yeah. And you can go ahead on that one there, Ryan.
I'm kind of torn on Sasquatch, Ontario, to be honest with you, because it seems too good to be true. And then in this field, if something's too good to be true, then chances are it is too good to be true. If we had Sasquatch conversing with us and calling us by name and calling us brother, where's the physical proof so we can actually come forward and say, hey, we know what these things are. We know where they are. Let's protect them. Nobody wants to do that, even though they have the best proof ever. It just doesn't make sense to me. And really, in this field, if we got the best proof ever, bring it forward. Let's see what we got to do.
Yeah, but most people don't even put out decent videos. It's all blurry. Why is it blurry? And why do they only show 5 seconds of it?
Right.
That's a good question. And a lot of times the answer is because it's a hoax.
Yeah. And what was it? There was one video that was in the Andes Mountains, I want to say, and it was a group camping adventure, and they were all at their meetup spot and everything. Somebody was looking at the mountain range, and it was in a different language, and I don't know what they were saying or anything, but he kept pointing, and the guy with the camera turns around, and on this mountaintop, I don't know how far away it was, but it was completely zoomed in. You see this figure up on the very ridge of the mountain walking across it.
I
But
saw that.
yeah, but he was walking like a human,
Mhm.
not like a bipedal ape or anything. And everybody was all freaked out about it. And I was like, how can the people with normal eyesight see what's going on up there? And but this guy has to be all the way zoomed in, and you still can't even make it out, really.
Yep.
But
He knew where he was looking.
Exactly. That happens way too often.
and
You know, if they're not panning all over the place, if they're not searching for the subject and they just zoom in, chances are it's not true.
oh, what about that one video where the guy was on a logging trail and saw something move in the woods and literally chased after this Sasquatch, like chased after it with a cell phone in hand and everything, and got probably maybe 15 to 20 feet away from it and told the thing to stop, let me video you. And it turned and just kept walking. Like, and
I don't think that tactic will work.
yeah.
I've tried it myself.
I mean, I'm willing to try that tactic if you want. I'll go out there and say, "Stop, let me film you," but I don't think it's going to work. I'll still give it a shot, though.
Right. I'm just, oh, and I know y'all have the same thing as we do in crypto. Like, it just seems there's more fake cryptid. Like, Ryan, do you want to take on this fakeness?
I can certainly try. Where would you like me to go with it? I mean, the
First
fake
off,
that we see.
whatever topic you decide.
Okay, well, I think what he's trying to get at is how the hoaxes and the made up stories, it really does damage it for all of us. We have to work 1,000 times harder to even prove anything we think is true, let alone anything that we do is true. So I'm sure, like me and like Matt, it affects you guys too. You guys have some backlash from those hoaxers out in your field.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any really serious backlash that you guys have gotten in the past, or you think you may get for what these people have done as far as the hoaxes go?
Well, a lot of places we can't even get into because either people will be afraid that we will destroy their property because other people have videotaped going in, being paranormal investigators, and tore down tombstones or spray painted stuff, or put worship signs or whatever they wanted to put up everywhere. You have that, and then you have people that are, I don't know if you want to really call them skeptical, because they have seen these bigger shows, so it just puts a more of a either disbelief in people. They actually know that they're faking it. You got those people. Well, whenever you go somewhere, they're thinking, well, they're probably fakers too, and they're just doing it for entertainment. When we actually want to get in there and try to prove something.
Mm-hmm. Whether if it's a haunting of a particular location, if it's the actual house or business, or if it's attached to the land.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, there's different variables that you have to, try to figure out.
Right.
But when you get people, when you got people on TV and everything is demon this and demon that, it's like, okay, people start clamming up because they don't want people, like other people going in, because, okay, well, if this team says that every location pretty much has a demon, so if we let these other people in our location, then are they going to bring out a demon?
Right.
So then they start getting scared, and then everybody just clams up. So it is kind of hard. I mean, the same thing with like YouTube channels. You know, it's hard for us because we try to give everybody the truth, but at the same time is like, you know, there's no, especially on this platform where they have taken away sort of like, well, let's face it, they're taking away freedom of speech slowly but surely.
Absolutely.
So therefore we can't put out what we want, say what we want, because they're actually shutting channels down that's in the community. So where do we go from here? And I think that makes it harder for everybody all the way around, because at one point everybody was talking about, okay, well, actually, let me rephrase that. Everyone was more comfortable coming out and saying, okay, well, this is what's going on in my house. I need somebody to talk to. So.
Nope. Lost Vale.
Vale, come back.
Right.
We did lose her.
See, okay. Do you believe like these TV shows that have a so-called medium, then two people that never had any experience whatsoever with the paranormal field, all on a team, trying to figure out a haunted location and what's going on with it? Do you think that hurts the paranormal field also?
Absolutely. There used to be a show on. It was on the UK, not mentioning it. I believe it's still on, only in the UK. They took it off the air over here.
Yeah.
They had a psychic on there, and turns out that he was a fake the whole time. So I think that, when you get, TV shows that actually faking, it's not just TV shows. Even I come across a video where someone was faking evidence on YouTube. So it's like, it happens.
Right.
So does that hurt the field? Absolutely, it hurts the field.
Yeah. I don't.
I'll even take it a step further. I was talking to a friend one day, and he's like, and we were talking about different things. I said, well, what about Bigfoot? And he's like, what about it? I'm like, do you believe in Bigfoot? He goes, no. I'm like, you don't believe in Bigfoot? And he said, no. I said, you don't think like places like the Pacific Northwest and the Appalachian mountain range out there, you don't think that there's enough square mileage to hide a bipedal primate out there?
Right.
He's like, no. I'm like, he goes, let me ask you a question. I was like, what? He goes, how come no one's found a body? I'm like, first off, has anyone found a bear body?
Yeah.
Has anyone found a wolf? When these creatures die, they're either burying them, they're burying their own dead, or because the environment that it's in, you have all the other scavengers out there. They're gonna just tear that body apart and scatter the bones everywhere. You'll never find it.
Yep.
And that's within a matter of a few days.
See, that's the thing that a lot of these armchair researchers say all the time is, where's the proof? We don't have a body. We don't have any fossilized skeletons. This is what people with doctrines are saying. We don't have any fossilized skeletons or anything from anywhere. And I was like, have in my mind, I'm like, have you ever went to anywhere? Like, there's a place in Canada. I mean, there's still miles and miles of woodland the size of Texas in Canada that has not even been touched or explored yet. and you think you're going to walk 20 miles out and automatically find the holy grail of cryptids. What do you want them to do? Hang the skeleton up in a tree for you to see? Like,
That would be nice.
yeah. I believe in the Bigfoot with Sasquatch and everything. Like, kind of like how elephants, like when they're about to die, they have a specific spot that they go and die. And that's why we have not found elephant graveyards for hundreds of years, until just very recently. And I believe that's the same way with Sasquatch. If they know one is about to die or whatever, they will go and claim that body and bury it in a specific location. And I mean, we just in the last 10 years found a new species of hominid. And how did we find it? Because a cave washed out and these bones were out of the cave, and a child picked up a skull and took it to their parent.
Yep, that's true.
Wow.
And nobody understands how these bodies got in such a small location inside of a massive cave under a volcano. Like, it happened.
Right.
It did.
And
we'll go back to the roots of cryptozoology, though. Like mountain gorillas. We didn't know about them until fairly recently, as far as science is concerned. So
Right.
it could take us another 100 years before you have any proof of Bigfoot or anything like that. Gorillas, billy apes. Billy apes were discovered in 2001. And here they were living amongst us the whole time, and we never knew they existed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but aren't those all related to the Gigantopithecus?
Yeah.
They are, yeah. Now, people believe that Bigfoot might be too, but then they also defeat that by saying that they're part human.
Well,
so it's an argument.
Well, the thing with Gigantopithecus is it had a massive skull, but the brain cavity inside was about the size of a newborn baby. Yep. So it really didn't have the mindset or the thinking knowledge of like a Bigfoot does, because they literally were wiped to extinction by the Neanderthals.
But by the time it crossed over the land bridge, though, and if you believe in evolution, wouldn't that brain function increase or, over time?
Yeah, adaptation.
Should. Yeah. It should. I don't know. It goes with the Gigantopithecus with them saying that Sasquatch has Nephilim blood in them.
You brought it up, Matt. I knew you were going to.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I just you know how y'all hate every spirit being called a demon. I hate the people calling Bigfoot Nephilim.
At least you get archangels.
Right.
Well, I guess demons, I mean, Lucifer was an archangel. I don't know. However you want to go with that.
It's all cryptid, paranormal, anything. It's all just, a hodgepodge soup of who cares. I don't know. Some people try to make a point, and they want to add every little detail that they can that other people just throw out to make some Frankenstein creation in their mind.
Well, it's the fear, man. They like the fear of it all.
Yeah.
You know, they like to be scared by it. So if you say it's a demon or a Nephilim, they're more reason to fear it. Whereas if you acknowledge it's an animal, if it's just a normal animal, are you really going to be afraid? No. So it's the fear that sells, bro.
I don't know. You could take you can take a few city boys out in the woods, and trust
Hey,
me,
now I'm a
if
city
they,
boy. Careful now.
Ding 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 ding.
I could take it. I could take some San Antonio city boys out in the woods and let them hear a coyote call, and they will be sleeping in their car before the call ends. So, like,
It's the same way out here, man. We live in the middle of the desert. Somebody hears a mountain lion going off, and they're like, "Oh my god, it's a demon!" And you're like, "No, it's a feline." See,
right?
People just aren't used to the wild anymore, man. We're so attached to our cell phones and our iPads and whatnot that we forget about nature, and nature becomes terrifying for us.
But
Yeah,
people want to live survival games, like.
Well,
I
see,
don't know.
there's a difference with that, brother. Though they want to play the survival games, they don't want to be a part of it. So learning how to live off of nature and learning how to survive out there, they don't really want to do that. We're too comfortable nowadays.
Right.
You know, we got the flat screen TVs, we got microwaves, we got all this good stuff. They don't want to go out there and have to rough it and look for their food and try to fish and sleep under a tree. They don't want to do that.
Don't forget AC.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Right.
and they don't want to be outside. You know, they don't want to be out in the heat. It kind of sucks because we really weakened ourselves in a way.
Yeah. I mean, you know, there was a biologist that proved that humans are still able to digest raw fresh meat. That, like, if you kill a deer, you can literally eat it raw, and your body can digest it better than cooked meat from a grocery store,
Mm-hmm.
and easier.
It's better for you too because it doesn't have the antibiotics or anything like that.
Yeah, and
So you would
our
actually live
bodies
longer.
our bodies were meant to eat that stuff, not what it is now.
Absolutely.
And I think that's the reason why a lot of cryptids, when they use, store-bought meat or whatever, they don't come around it.
No, because it's got the
smells
human
different.
scent on there. Yeah, it's got the human scent because so many hands have touched it.
Yeah,
We can't
and
smell
also
it.
it's already decaying.
Yeah, we can't smell it, but they can.
Yeah, I just.
Yep.
So Ryan, any other cons or pros to our cryptid hobby?
Actually, the biggest con has to be the armchair warriors in a way. I mean, they want to listen to just about anything. They want to see something. So if somebody has something presentable that looks good, it doesn't matter if it's real or not. They're going to believe it. And so if you have something, they're going to compare what you have and what you know to what this other guy has said. And if he has something better than you to show, he's going to be the right one. You're going to be the wrong one. So real researchers aren't really accredited as they should be. Whereas those guys that just make stuff up, they get all the glory, and it really does hurt the real researcher because we know what we're doing. We go out there, we put the time in, we earn those blisters and those bruises. Whereas these other guys just get all the fame for it for no reason. It's not right. And people want to listen to horror stories, not actual true encounters.
Yeah.
They want those stories that you listen to and you're locking your doors and you're turning on all the lights because you just listened to it.
Mm-hmm.
So if you try to tell them that these things are not these savage, bloodthirsty killers, they don't want to hear it. There's a lot to contend with nowadays. It's not what it used to be like 10 years ago, 15 years ago, even 20 years ago. Cryptids has now taken on definition of demon.
Oh, you're good. I think also another part that plays on that is these stories from 50 to 100 years ago, like LBL and Skinwalker Ranch, and people people believe so die hard on those stories that no other story will pass their lips. You know, it.
Mhm.
Well, again, that goes back to the fear, though, bro. If you think about it, LBL especially,
Yeah,
you know the hype surrounding that. So there's a lot of fright with that one. And people want to believe it's a terrifying, dangerous place for you to go. Is it? Not really. You've been there, Matt.
right. Yeah, it's nothing. It is an overgrown RV park that's
Mhm.
been demolished, and people overplay it so much, and I guess it's the same thing. Like, we have our group haunted, like, creepy tales, like
Right.
the paranormal. Y'all have twisted stories on haunted locations too, do you not? Like,
Amityville,
and
Bobby Mackey's, yeah, pick one.
That was quick.
you know, it's I believe the people that do not do the research on these specific land areas and stuff. Okay, like, I was just listening to a YouTube channel before me and Mrs. Starr went on our date and everything, and it was called The Dogmen of Texas. And the first story that came up was Skull Creek. And the guy that was telling the story told it completely wrong. He didn't mention that he didn't mention that this guy was the only farmer on this land because nobody else wanted this land. He did not mention that he sent his child out to go hunting, and the child returned once and said something was following him, and the father didn't believe him and sent him back out. Then he got slaughtered. He got ripped apart by this Dogman or Sasquatch or whatever. And he didn't, like, the way this guy explained it was a bustling trade community, and he needed meat for his store and sent his son out to go hunting, and didn't see his son for 3 days, and went to go find his son, and then found that the beast killed his son and was leaning over him. And when the beast looked up and looked at the father, he had the son's leg hanging out of his mouth. And that was all the story was that he said.
Cryptid's podcast said that he will be back ASAP.
Okay, yeah, no problem. But is that, how many places have you went, Vale, that had the history twisted around, like, than what it really was?
I don't know if it's so much that they had the history twisted around. I mean, they had some of it, kind of correct, but they amped it up where that's not what was going on there. They had the history, but they took the history and they heightened it to that entertainment excitement level. Okay, what I'm talking about here is, Bobby Mackey's. Okay.
Right.
The well from hell and the demon worshippers and all that.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. Carl was supposed to got possessed. Okay. I went in there, y'all. Me. Okay, so I mean, yeah, I did get my neck hurt by a spirit, but I think that's because he was lashing out at me and I was in his territory.
Right.
I did not feel any demons in there. I was in Carl's apartment. Didn't feel or see any demons in there. I had my daughter with me. She's more of the person that could feel the darker energies.
Yeah.
She was just fine. I mean, she said there was nothing. What I got in there was a lot of unhappy spirits of people, coming in and out there all the time and not listening to what they wanted.
Right.
So that dark negativity, it wasn't a demon. It was just some really unhappy Johanna. She was mad because all she wanted was some books.
Mm-hmm.
So anybody goes to Bobby Mackey's, take some books. Just don't leave a whole bunch there. You might get a little upset.
Yeah, just like one.
Yeah. If you see one, take one, switch it out, kind of make a share there, but
Right.
but yeah, I think the big history part of it, they usually get the history right, and that's amazing.
Yeah.
But then they take it and they run with it, and they've got to put something in there that was just so horrific and so tragically that it caused some kind of demon effect.
Yeah. And see, I think that's the same thing because, when I did the live stream up there at Skull Creek, everybody said that it was a dogman hunt. It was a dogman area.
Mm-hmm.
From what I saw and what I showed y'all, it's a Sasquatch area. It's not. There was really no signs of dogman out there. So I don't know. I think a lot of people, they want to just twist stories around just for that fear factor, just to draw people in. But you know what? Nobody goes out to Skull Creek.
Yeah.
There's a thing, it's different for like paranormal, because paranormal people can go and leave when they want to, but somebody saying, oh, there's a wild dogman out there that's gonna rip me apart and like run off with my leg, no, I'm good.
Yeah. Even I'd be like, I draw the line somewhere.
Right.
I have returned, Matt. I'm back.
What's up, Ryan?
Hey, Colin.
Hey,
Colin's
Colin.
here. What up, Colin?
I don't know. So look, I know we've been talking about the cons and everything. What is the pros, like the things that make you feel good about doing paranormal? What, like, is it the helping? Is it, understanding? Like, what?
You want to go with that? You want me to go first?
I think, well, major one is you get to help the spirits, you get to help people. These are legit problems that people have in their private homes, businesses, or what have you.
Right.
It's just, plus you get to know the history of the place too. I know, like Vale, she likes to go in blind.
Yeah.
More of a historian. So it's like after, like when she was here, during the investigation, she would get certain like EVPs or something, and then she would say, okay, tell me what's going on. So I would tell her, and she goes, no, that just confirms what I was feeling or getting on an EVP or whatever.
Yeah.
So that's, one of the places that I brought her to, I went back there during a daytime investigation, and I think it was the last video on my channel. And I said I was going to go, and they said, wait. He said, wait 3 times. I said, what do you want me to wait for? And they said, help. Belt. Now, part of the history of that place, their wampum belt disappeared.
Really?
For the whole tribe. So nobody knows where it is. And legend has it is that the Wampanoag tribe put a curse on a 200 square mile area that's in the shape of a triangle. No lie.
Yeah.
And it's called the Bridgewater Triangle. And
I've heard of that.
Yeah. They got everything that you can possibly think of. They have spirits, they have Bigfoot, they have huge wolves with red eyes. They have snakes as big as stovepipes.
Really?
Thunderbirds. Everything you can possibly think of paranormal related is in this area. I mean, Vail couldn't drive down the street without, seeing like a block party. I'm serious.
Having a barbecue out there.
There's one house, I swear they were. I mean, if it wasn't for all the grown up trees and everything, I see like 3 people on the porch, but there was 17 people, I bet, in that front yard. I'm like, what are they doing? And Jax is like, what's who doing? I was like, again, I'm like, never mind. But, then we drive past it again the next day and they're still, out there just, what in the world? I see some strange things.
I mean, this is this part of the country. This is the oldest part of the country right here.
Yeah.
She sees everybody. I mean, everybody. I mean, I brought her down to Plymouth and she actually saw pilgrims walking around. I mean,
jeez.
Yeah, I thought, you would see them like you see it in school, the black dresses, they look really nice, kind of like nuns with the white aprons.
Yeah.
No, these people look like they was running around in bed sheets.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I mean, just really poorly dressed. I mean, just, look like you would take a bed sheet, maybe, put some stitching in it, and that was your dress. I mean, I was like, I thought they was dressed.
Maybe that's all the material they had.
I'm like, maybe that was a lie. Pilgrims right? Like that.
The people in the history books were the rich ones.
Yeah, right? Not the ones I see.
Colin wants to know if you got room for him to come up.
Hey, Colin, after we get done on here with the pros and cons and everything, I will open up the panel for people to ask questions and everything. But yeah, you can come up after that, brother.
In other words, you smell, Colin. We don't want you around. You smell.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, but that's my big thing. I love helping this. I mean, not just people. I mean, the spirits. Right. I mean, and I think, and I've noticed this a lot more, or it just kind of my attention that it seems like they're coming to me a little bit more. Help with this and that. And like today, interesting little story, but I had went to check out a tour that I thought about taking, which I am going to take it now because whenever I showed up there's a lady there and I'm sitting there staring, looking at her, and I'm talking to the tour guide, and
yeah,
she's like, what are you looking at? And I was like, well, this woman was a lot more clear than normally I see, and she goes, right, what are you looking at? I was like, there's a woman there on the staircase, and she's like, where? She took her. I was like, okay, so she didn't see her. Never mind.
Yeah,
but she continues with her spiel about the tours and this and that, and the woman's, talking to me. I said, I hate to interrupt. I said, does the name Eloise mean anything to you? And she got the deer in the headlight look, and she goes, why? I said, the lady on the stair, her name is Eloise. I said, do they belong to this property? I said, I haven't done any history or anything. And she said, that's my aunt. She died a couple weeks ago.
Whoa.
Oh.
I'm like, oh. Sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, right. But she was like really open about it, which surprised me because she turned around. She says, "Hey, did you follow me to work today?" And I'm like, "Okay, all right."
well.
Yeah. So yeah, that was strange. And then
that's
on the way,
an awkward moment.
Yeah, I felt really awkward. I was like, I hope she was a good aunt, but anyway. And then, on the way home, I mean, I'm traveling down one of these older country roads. I mean, it's still, a 2-lane highway, but you're out in rolling hill sticks. And something just hit me to go right. I'm thinking, go right, go right. And I'm looking and, there's, cattle fields and, I can't go right, I'll end in a ditch somewhere.
Right.
So I see the next road coming up, which is like County 408, it's, the blue marker. Lord have mercy where this is going. But I just turned off to the right and I was like, I'll see how far I can go. I said, I don't have that much gas. I'm going straight home.
Wrong turn.
Yeah, right. But I don't go no more than a couple miles and the feeling starts to ease up and it's getting lighter. And I'm thinking, well, I just pulled in. I seen this, like this open gate fence, where a farm may have been. And so I just nosed it up in there. And when I nosed it up in there, my car came to the top of a knoll. And at the top of the knoll, you could look down. There's a cemetery in the woods.
Oh, nice.
I'm like, well, maybe that's where I'm supposed to go. Well, the video, okay, I get down there. It's kind of windy, but it, backs up. But I'm looking through my footage, and there's a lot of help, like I always get. And I'm cold and this and that. And I'm thinking, I don't know what I'm going to do for these people. Yeah. Well, my daughter, she notices they actually put on the back of the billboard for the cemetery the names and the plots and that. And then it says over on the side of it, wooded headstones. I'm like, wooded headstones. And we get to reading through there. And actually behind me where I had been looking, there was like some broken down tombstones. And they don't know if they've been disregarded or there's actually people out there. Right. So, I go troping in there like I always do, trying to talk to people. And they're, hollering help. And, okay, I'm going to do what I can. I don't know what you want. They're guiding me here and that. Yeah. But whenever, I get done, they're actually telling me, they want it cleaned up. Okay, great. I'll see about this. Because there's, thorn bushes and overgrown hedgerows and everything out there. Yeah. Okay, the cemetery is actually a lot bigger than what it's supposed to be because, I could see it. And it had started an old wash, like, through it. And, a lot of stuff, was, falling down and falling through that. Mm-hmm. And I did not notice until I get home when I'm looking at the footage. And I showed Paranormal Underworld this. Wow. There's some fingers sticking up out of the ground.
Really?
Yeah.
Right hand sticking clear out of the ground like it's going, help me, I'm not dead.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, and I didn't even notice it now till, here I got home, and I'm like, okay, we will just kind of blur that out because I don't think y'all need to see that. But I guess now I got to call and say, y'all got some remains that are like waving.
I wouldn't blur it out. I'd let it go.
Yeah, I would too. Like, I mean, because you know what they would be. They'd be like, we need proof, blah blah blah. Because a coyote or whatever could swing by and gnaw on that and take it somewhere else. Ew. Yeah, I mean they're scavengers, so.
I'm just like, that's just nasty. It's like,
yeah,
but yeah. So I guess that's where I'm supposed to be, and I'm supposed to be, telling somebody that hey, they're cold because they're halfway sticking out of the ground now, but
just a little bit.
Yeah.
That picture that she took, that screenshot she took off of that film, though, it was so crystal clear. I mean, you can make it. You can see the joints. You can see everything in that hand.
I thought it was sticks when I was first looking at it, but
oh yeah. Like back in Tennessee, there was hundreds of family and small community graveyards and everything that all they did was just take the headstones, throw them away, and there's a new house put on there. And I seen a bunch of houses where during heavy rains and everything, and you would see a skull roll down a hill and down the road.
There
That's
you
what
go.
it is, man.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
That's just nasty.
That's wonderful.
Oh, terrific.
Good job, Bill.
Yeah, that's how my day went. Kate is like, yeah. And I didn't pay no mind. No, I'm troping through there. You know, I could have like,
Right.
you know, knocked off a finger or something.
That's
you,
why
Bill.
you're missing a thumb. Bill kicked it halfway.
You're like, wait.
That's funny.
But what is weird though, what's interesting about that picture though, there is no thumb. The
Yeah,
thumb
it's
is
there.
gone.
It's there.
Is it?
Yeah.
I didn't see it.
It's
I
there.
didn't see it either.
Hang on.
Okay.
Oh, it's there. Okay, look right there next to the log. It's only like the tip of it.
Yeah, I see it. Right in between the log and the leaf.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so all
I just
five of
never
them are
looked at it.
there. Or all four and a thumb.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you think? What do you think, Vale? You think that was like a 300-year-old cemetery or older?
A lot of them was 1800s. So yeah, I mean, there was some that was, you know, saying that they was buried there in like 1925. But that being the older part, you know, I'm thinking 1800s. So yeah, I mean, if they're gone to that point, you know,
Right.
just hopefully it wasn't like somebody else, you know.
Or hey, it could be such an old cemetery. You don't know. Somebody probably threw that body over there.
Yeah. I don't know.
I mean, that there reminds me of a story. I mean, like Savannah, Georgia.
Oh, my wonderful place.
That place, in my opinion, is the most haunted city in America. I mean, that place has had like so many great fires and so many great floods. I mean, at one point, it was flooded so bad that you look out your window and the caskets were floating down the river, down the street. So, like, pretty much every single building there is pretty much haunted.
Oh yeah, yeah. There is one of my friends in Savannah. Her house was so haunted. Every day, something new or whatever would be talking into her ear, like. And one day it's a little kid crying in her closet. One day it's a woman, you know, laughing. She lived in that house maybe about a year and a half and sold it and moved to McDonald, Georgia. And you know, I used to guard the Savannah historical graveyard, and that place was crazy. Like every night at midnight, the whole entire tiny chapel that they had in there that you could do wakes and whatever inside of it, it was open 24 hours because they also put that the names of people that got cremated. They would put their name on that memorial wall, and the lights would be flickering on in it. you would hear children laughing and running around on this marble floor. Like, it sounded like barefooted children running across and laughing and everything. And I had my handcuffs stolen about 7 times off of my belt, and I didn't even feel it, unlatch or anything. Like, and they're like, yeah, no, they said, oh yeah, that's Brian. He likes shiny things. So yeah. So I ended up, instead of him stealing my handcuffs, I would drop a quarter for him. And he stopped taking my handcuffs. So
You should take him like a shiny Christmas ball or something.
Yeah. Well, no, it was every time. Every time he wanted something shiny, something new. Every time. Like,
Oh wow.
yeah. And there was shadow people that walked around and a lady in white.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Jax, like, Savannah it's crazy out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, one of the last videos that Vale made out here, I took it to Dighton Rock. Now, Dighton Rock is a rock. It's a boulder that they pulled out of the Taunton River that has like petroglyphs or something on it. Nobody knows who put them on there. So they pulled it out, and it's stuck, and it's in a museum at this particular location. Well, we were like exploring the grounds and everything. We came across a cemetery, but after we realized that it was a Native American cemetery. But afterwards, we were walking down the street,
right,
heading towards the parking lot, and Vale sees a little 3 to 4 foot tall, hairy creature run from left to right.
He was like, phew.
What?
And she's like, "What was that?" I said, "You probably saw a puck wedgie."
I've heard of those.
Puck wedgies is elemental. They take care of the land.
Yeah, they're like brownies here in the South.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're covered in brown fur. They look like Native Americans.
Yep.
So, so I stood at the edge of the road, cars going by.
Right.
And I do a whoop.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, we didn't hear it with our own ears, but all of a sudden we heard a growl. And then what we did hear with our own ears, monkey calls.
Really?
Yeah, there's like 3 or 4 of them back here going whoo 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 whoo. Like a pack of monkeys. I was like, was that monkeys? I even say it in the video. I'm like, and you can hear it. It sounds like monkeys.
Ryan, that's why I brought you here, because I wanted Jax to tell you that story.
Nice. Dang, puck wedgies. Wow. Me and my buddy are actually making a documentary on those next year.
I understand.
No.
My grandma tells me there's one in my house.
Oh, no way.
Well, like I told you, Vale, treat it with respect. You'll have no problem at all.
Is that what's stinking in here recently? Do they stink?
Yes.
That's what they say, yeah.
Yeah. They smell like decaying leaves.
It smells like feet and Doritos.
Yeah.
Are you sure you're not smelling Colin? I think that's what Colin smells like.
And I haven't noticed it till she said, what she said. And then also on that EVP, someone said puck wedgie upstairs like twice. And I'm like, what do I do with that thing? I deal with spirits, not puck wedgies.
It as long as you show it respect and you give it a little bit of food.
What do I feed it?
You don't
anything
feed it
to eat.
Anything. Yeah.
I've heard stories of those things trying to kidnap kids, though. I don't know if that's true, but I have heard stories about that.
My kids are grown. Good luck with that.
Yeah, there was one story that a girl told where like she was getting almost kidnapped on a daily basis by these things.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. everything about them. I don't know really that much about them, but I know brownies are more susceptible to that because brownies are the eviler cousin to a puckwudgie. So yeah,
I mean, I just
but
don't know what to do. I just ignore it.
Yeah,
no,
like I said, you treat it with respect, because if you don't treat it, they'll start doing mischievous things like, taking your car keys and hiding them.
yeah,
So basically acting like a cat.
Pretty much. But I mean, it goes beyond just taking your car. I mean, it's like basically like a gremlin, but they don't, from what I understand, they don't kill people.
yeah.
I
They-
don't know
they
about
just
that.
like
I've
to-
heard some stories about that too, that they can be pretty violent when they want to be.
Maybe.
Well,
I don't know.
I've heard the violence only happens when like a family has not respected them and like done things that it does not like. That it's kind of like like pissing off a Sasquatch, Ryan. Like
We
they
just think some
really,
M&Ms or something.
yeah, like they are small, but they're a part of the. Most people say they're a part of the Fey realm. So
I could see that.
I don't know, but I can't see the thing, and I just, I see spirits. I'm thinking, why can't I see this? I don't know.
Because
Yeah.
it was never a human to begin with,
yeah,
and it's an elemental.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe
Maybe.
they like to hide more than anything else, and
Yeah,
they
they
can
don't like to be
blend
seen.
in. Like the bricks behind you, they can blend in to those bricks and wood and
nice.
yeah, and your basement, Nicole.
That's M&Ms.
Your basement is a perfect hiding ground for it.
You're gonna have her all nervous, Matt. She's not gonna want to get off of this thing.
Well,
Look,
it's funny. It's funny because she had that smell the other night, and she had it tonight while she was on here. That's why she disappeared.
That's what I was wondering.
I disappeared because Tom pulled my plug out over here. But the smell, is that
Way to go,
whatever
Tom.
that is.
But yeah, like they.
I carry this
That's a
everywhere
good
now.
smell. If you start smelling like death, that's a bad smell.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah. It
But who wants to smell stinky feet? I mean, it smells like stinky feet and cheese.
it thinks it smells good. That could be it. That could be its mating scent.
Easy now.
It probably likes you, Nicole.
No.
Well, they do tend to favor women over men. So, I mean, like protection and stuff. Like, it will protect you as long as you acknowledge its existence and you just give it respect and like how you do the spirits in your house.
Yeah.
Same thing.
And me probably being Indian and female, they're like, hey, I like
Right.
you.
No, Eli, it's not like Jax's feet.
Oh, give me 1 second. I'm gonna put the camera on my symbol. Yay! Oh, what happened to my symbol? Where's my symbol?
Mm-hmm.
Dang it! Oh, I'm gonna take y'all outside with me.
Oh, it's smoke time, huh?
Yes, it is. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, I hear you. I think I'm gonna go for a cigarette real quick.
All right.
I can't smoke in my house, so I'll be right back, fellas.
I understand. Yeah. I understand that 100%. because Miss Star would kill me if I smoked in the house. She already wants to kill me. Well, she already wants to kill me because I smoke in general, but
But Vale in general, I mean, she has said this on other passages. She's probably going to kill me for bringing this up, but she's got like 2 crypts in her house in the basement.
What? Are you serious, Jax?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, you tiny little mouse. Look how little this thing is.
Oh, wow.
It's like, I don't know. I'm trying to, but
It's the size of a mouse.
yeah, right. That's what I told Autumn. Yeah.
Yeah,
Miss
Mrs. Star.
Yeah, that. Yeah. I'm so not used to calling her that. But yeah, she got it for me, and she's like, "Here you go, have it." And I tried to put it in my hand, and I was like, I feel like a giant. But yeah, like
I'm talking about my bodies, Jax.
Yes, I'm talking about your bodies. And people have gone down to her house and said, "Yeah, I want to investigate your basement and get there, and then like I'm gonna sleep down here too, and then get there and get all set up and everything, and then freaking leave the light on."
Really?
We know him, Second Star Clown, done it. He left the light on.
Yeah, I mean, trust me, I would do that because me in a dark place and not being able to see anything around me, I'm good.
Well, being who it was, and I know how he is, I told my little guy, Tom, which I associate with all the time, I was like, you can go down there and play with them. I said, mess with them for me. And I guess he scratched him on the foot. And after that, it was all over with.
Yeah, me, I'd be like, if you let me know you're with me, I'd be okay with you, like poking me or whatever. But as long as there's just no puddles or boxes down there,
there's puddles. Make sure you don't come when it rains, because sometimes I have a whole freaking flood down there.
Oh, I'm good. I'm good then.
Yeah.
I'll be like, sis, I will see you after it dries up.
Yeah, I think I was on Hangouts with Jax there, and I took out 9 shot vacs full of water.
Are you serious? Jeez.
But there's not going to be any fixing it, and now the wall, the outside west wall, is actually leaking down through one of the bigger questionable pieces of concrete.
Oh.
And it's really soft dirt under there. It's it's not hard dirt. It's that really soft, fine dirt.
Yeah.
But I got to looking at it, one day whenever it rained, and it's got that little river to it across the floor, and it's got a gray ashy color to it, and it felt different than dirt. And I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, you know what that is.
Yeah. That sounds like pre-mortar, like.
No, this one's it was more like a baby powder gray, and it was real soft. Yeah.
Huh.
It wasn't like silica or anything, or lime. Wasn't anything like that. It was just like felt like baby powder in your hands. It was like, ew.
So what are you thinking?
I don't know. Like
decayed skin? Vale?
That, or it's bone dust.
That maybe. Was it you said it was it like if you rubbed your fingers together, if you had it on your thumb and your forefinger, your index finger, and you rubbed it together, it wasn't grainy at all?
Mm-mm. No, and I could probably go down there and show you because it's been raining, so it's probably some down there.
Huh.
It's really strange.
Hmm. I don't know. I'm trying to put 2 and 2 together, but I'm
I mean,
out 0.
I can go down there. I mean, I've got to go down there here in a minute anyways. Might as well go down there now.
Yeah, if you want to, sis.
Yeah, I'll have to switch out cameras here, so you might lose me for a second.
You're good. You're good.
So yeah, y'all get the poopy camera. Let's see. Let me unplug. Hang on a minute.
Oh, what am I hitting?
I don't know. What did you hit?
I made the screen small. There we go. Mouse. There. Go over there.
Okay. You hear me?
Yes, I hear you, sis.
Okay, and you can see me, right? All right. We're going to take a trip. Turn this light out.
Yep.
Woohoo! A trip! Yay!
Yay! I'm actually going to probably take this light with me because I am alone, and we all know that Vale is now scared of the dark. So.
Yes, ma'am.
I have returned.
What's up, Ryan?
Hey,
Not much,
Ryan.
man. Not much. Hey, so we going down to the basement?
We're going
Hey,
to the
Ryan,
creepy
how's it?
basement.
All right.
I will try to stay out of the screen because Vale is in booty shorts. We do not handle that. Okay, so we are going outside.
Hello, everybody that I missed in chat. I'm sorry. I've been paying attention to my panel of my family. Sorry.
All right, let me turn on this one. Ooh, it is chilly out here.
Did Colin take off?
Yeah.
You did?
Oh, did he? Oh, crap. Sorry, Colin.
Hey, Vale.
Yes.
If it's full of water, don't bother going in.
Yeah.
I don't think it's full of water. I just seen where it was trailing the other day. It's just that west wall is starting to dribble.
Oh, he's here.
Oh, good.
Thank you all for staying in chat and everything. And after we get done with this, we'll start taking questions if y'all want to know like pros and cons or anything to try to, you can take all of our opinions on what we make for hunting equipment and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, there's still plenty of it down here. I don't know if I can even tilt. Okay, you still got me.
Yeah, we still got you, sis.
Okay, it is. I don't know if you can see this even. It's wow. No, it's. Yeah, you can't see it. It's no.
No.
Let's see.
Oh, I see it now. Okay.
I mean, you do have like the remnants of the wall, but there's a powder, and it's real fine, like baby powder.
Huh.
Whoa.
And it's coming out of this crypt, this wall.
Yeah.
Which makes no sense.
It could be some kind of bone mortar.
Yeah, I was supposed to say.
But there's these two little creepy. There's one right there behind me. See how small it is?
Yeah.
That's one, and it's just wide enough for a person. And
Right.
then you have the big one behind me that is starting to see, it's got a top on it. It's starting to crack.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And then there's one that's diagonal from it. And it's not really holding up the walls because the walls are, mortar and stone. So these are here for no apparent reason.
Huh. That's weird.
Yeah, really weird.
Yeah, it is.
And I get a lot of activity down here. There was a woman that was found in the well over here originally, and they said her bones were probably 1800s. So I don't know how she would have got into the well, but they accessed it from here.
Yeah.
So yeah,
There's been hundreds of reports of finding bodies at bottoms of whales.
but if you look at this one, there is a top on here.
Yeah.
See?
And that one's cracking across too.
Yeah, I mean, it's going all the way. The whole top is coming off of it. So there has been
Yeah.
a top set on top of this one.
Whoa.
That is strange.
And it's childlike. I mean, it's unless it's a very short person, but it's childlike. And I have a child that stays down here around this one, Tom.
Huh. That is a
It's
sealed coffin.
Yeah. And it's not like the new plaster. I was looking, and if you go over here to the sides where it's really coming apart, it's the old hog hair plaster.
Yeah.
Because you can see the bits of hair and stuff in it.
Right.
So, I mean, it's like a crypt.
Yeah. See, that's what I swear I just saw something move past that shop vac.
Oh, it's Yusuf. He stays over there in the corner.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. He's
Sorry,
my,
I was looking at the crack and everything, then I just saw something just go by.
yeah. He stays over there. He was a slave that they brung down here, and he literally told me that they starved and he didn't have nothing to drink. So yeah, his
That
metal
is
chains are still in the wall over there.
that is one of the worst deaths I can ever imagine, is starved to death.
Yeah, his stuff is still over there. But
Tell him I'm sorry for what happened to him.
Matt says he's sorry.
You should not have been treated that way at all.
Yeah, I've even tried to get him to go, but he's so scared of the outside. I mean,
Yeah.
of the unknown, and he just won't go. And I said, well, I guess you could stay here. I mean, the other spirits come down and check on him.
As long as he feels safe, I mean.
Yeah, I mean, he's okay with me here.
Yeah. That is. Yeah, I think maybe that's a bone mortar mix that's coming out of it, Bill.
Yeah, it's really strange.
Right. Because they did use a bone meal mortar in the late 1700s, early 1800s, out of pig and cattle bones that was ground up.
Yeah.
Well, I know they did in the South, but I don't know. I don't know if they did, where you're at.
Well, I'm in middle of Missouri, so
Yeah. So maybe, yeah.
yeah, on the wall behind me, it's this 1700s limestone, and it's all the hog hair plaster that's coming
Right.
out, but yeah, it's just really strange down here.
So much history in your house.
Yep.
I love it.
Yeah, a lot.
Sorry, it's just
And limestone and granite also is a conductor for spirit activity too.
I've heard of that. I have heard that so much.
Yep.
And I wonder, because they're attracted to water too, correct? Like, or is that just moving water only?
It's yeah, they can use the energy from the rapids from the rivers. Yeah.
Right.
And
So
on the river.
can they use the water from the from under from when it runs under your house? Can they use that to power themselves?
Yeah.
I mean, they could use it as a conductor. And like, I sit right here on the Mississippi too. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Huh.
I just got the Holo Kajojos over here. Yeah, it is sad, Missy. I mean, I love Yusuf to death, and Marina goes down here and checks on him.
And I'm sure being next to a river too. I mean, that's where the natives used to, have their villages too. Was right next to water,
right.
Fish and all that stuff. So
yeah, the staples of what you need: food and water.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and that's the thing. Like with the cryptids, that armchair warriors don't understand is that they need water, and they can scavenge for food on where they need to go, but they're always constantly looking for water.
Mm-hmm.
What's wrong, Bill?
Some got her attention.
Yeah. The one thing I don't like is here.
Okay, she's out of there.
Okay, yeah, leave. So.
Yeah, he don't like me, and I don't like him either. The feeling is mutual.
Don't you touch my sister. I don't know what I'd do, but I got a Jax on my side.
Okay.
So Ryan.
Yes, good sir.
What is your pros in cryptozoology?
Oh God, dude. The first one would have to be just helping people, man. There's something so gratifying about someone who's had an encounter or just witnessed something, just coming up and thanking you for helping them.
Right.
Yeah, it's one of the biggest ones. But I would have to say the second biggest one, easily, it's the experience.
Yeah.
All the learning and meeting other people that believe in the same things you do. It's an amazing feeling, bro.
Mm-hmm. Right. It's so much better in this day of age than it was, just say 10 years ago.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, there's more open-minded people these days.
Right.
So when you were once crazy 10 years ago, now if you say you believe in Dogman or Bigfoot, people go, "Oh yeah, me too, me too. In fact, I saw something down over here," and it's a bonding experience for both of you.
Right. And I think now with like in cryptozoology, like people are starting to get out of their single mindset of like if when I hold town hall meetings and stuff at small towns, a lot of people never really said anything at town hall meetings. Like they would shy away from it, but now they're actually coming forth. And
yeah, well, we've reached that point now where it's not one of those things to be embarrassed about. It's actually a thing to step forward for, and people want it to be known. They want their stories to be told, and they want people to believe them.
Right.
It's a common thing now. It's as common as when people used to watch football together. Now people are into cryptozoology together as well.
Yeah.
So it's really jumped forward by leaps and bounds.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm happy with this family, like how we get along so well.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. There's some great people in this family, dude.
Yeah, but even Ryan, I mean, there's still those people in our field that everything is wrong. Everything the way you're thinking is not believable. It's
Right.
their way or the highway.
You're always going to run into that, though, brother. I mean, no matter what you do, there's always going to be these so-called experts that don't want to believe there's no experts yet.
Mm-hmm.
It's just you got to be true to yourself. You can't sell out to their beliefs, no matter how much they push them on you.
Right.
Well, I always believe that there is no such thing as experts because everybody's always learning.
Exactly. Exactly. And we should all be learning together because nobody knows it all.
Right.
I don't think we ever will. So if we work together and pool our knowledge together, we can make that library, so to speak.
Yes.
And everybody can learn together, and then we can pass that on to the next generation and so forth and so on.
Right. I mean, it's not like it was the 60s, like the Gimli film,
Right.
or the Loch Ness monster craze,
Mhm.
where everybody was trying to do whatever they could to make a buck.
Right.
Well,
back then, you got to think they were just monsters back then.
Yeah.
They weren't something that was really taken all too serious by us.
Right.
They were B-movie monsters is pretty much what they were. So people made money off of that. But it's reached that point where they're more than B-movie monsters. They're more than things you would see in just horror films or comic books. They're real life things. So people do take them far more serious, as they should.
I wonder the people that did grow up with the B movie monsters, like the original werewolf, Wolfman, stuff like that, and now that they see a dog man, like, I wonder how traumatizing that's going to be to them. Or are they?
You would be surprised, because I've talking to some older folk from that are in their 70s or 80s that grew up with those monster movies. But when you present Dogman to them, they're like, "Oh yeah, I've known they've been out there all my life. They don't bother me. They don't scare me."
Right.
I think in a way, movies help dull us to the existence of these things.
Yeah.
Because we see them in movies, they become commonplace. They're almost like our pets now.
That's true. Then stuff like Underworld or Twilight or whatever, people that, are diehard fans that want to believe that stuff and would, spear tackle a dog man to try to get them to bite him to turn him into a werewolf.
Yeah, those are what I call the aficionados. They don't really want to believe the real life stuff. They want to believe the fantasy element. And, I guess to them, it creates that whole fanatical thing for them where it gives them something to be afraid of. And in a way, I respect that in a way, because back in the day, back when we were far more primitive, we were afraid of these things.
Yeah. I mean, it was to keep you at the fire, because fire scares wildlife.
Right. Because you had that thing that went bump in the night and you couldn't bump back.
Right. And
now you can.
You don't have night vision.
Right. And now you can bump back in a way. I mean, don't go and spear tackle one of them. I would never recommend that to anybody. Give them the stunner instead. Kick them in the gut and give them the stone cold stunner, and there you go. No, I'm kidding. Don't anybody ever try that. Don't ever try it.
Trust me, I will spear hug a Sasquatch if it would let me.
Well, actually, you know what? Speaking of monsters, it's funny that he brings that up because there was a case back in the 1800s. Her name was Mercy Brown.
Yeah.
She's buried in Rhode Island, and she was supposed to be known as the first vampire.
Yes.
Really? I've never heard this.
What happened? What the initial story was is that there were people getting sick, and they thought that maybe it was this Mercy Brown person. So they dug her up and noticed that there was blood coming out of her mouth.
Right.
So they did what they had to do to stop whatever was going on. But what was going on, she died of tuberculosis, and it was running rampant in the town.
Right. There's been a lot of cases of vampirism that was the first sign. I want to say it was a small little town outside of outside of London or somewhere, and this guy died. He was a coal miner, and he died of black lung. And people said, "Oh, he was weird. He was, he kept to himself. When he came out in the morning, he went straight to his house and wasn't seen until the night. And like, he wouldn't buy garlic. He wouldn't buy any, garlic or onion or sage. And he like stepped away from the sellers that sold that, like 6 to 10 foot away, and walked around them. And supposedly he died coughing up blood and everything, and the people that saw him coughing up the blood thought he was a vampire. So when he died, they put metal spikes into each shoulder and put him into holy ground. And supposedly for 3 days, he rose from his grave and was walking around asking people for cups of blood to drink. And after the 3rd day, his body withered away. I don't remember the name of him or anything, but they went to the grave to dig him up, and the body that was in there of him was supposedly withered away with the spikes still in the shoulders. So
I know they still haven't found blood.
Yeah, like it supposedly still to this day, like wherever that little town is, they do hear knocking at night on their doors from the time of 11 o'clock to 1 a.m. And nobody answers their doors, but it still happens.
I'd be like, nope.
I would answer just to see who it is, but that's just me.
Well, if it's a vampire, if you open your door, you allow them in.
Yeah.
So
true. I always just have to point out, no. I never said you can come in. I just opened my door, man. That's not an invitation.
Right.
I'd be singing David Edmonds. I hear you knocking. I can't come in.
Right.
Well, I mean, there's even tales of vampires in the Bible. I mean, David, like King David, supposedly when he was a certain age and everything, he would take a female to bed with him at night, and the next morning the young female was drained of her youth and beauty, but David was fully energized. So
hey, that's what a night with a good woman will do to you, bro. Just saying.
Right. That's what I mean.
That kind of sounds like what's her name? Elizabeth Bathory, that bathed in the
blood of virgins. Yeah.
Yes, which is beautiful.
And I mean that. My opinion is, what is technically a vampire? Is it considered paranormal, or is it considered cryptid? Like
both. It'd be both technically.
You think so?
Well,
yeah, I mean,
go ahead.
Why not?
Sorry.
Well, we don't have any proof that they really are the vampires that we think about. I mean, it's more of a religion in real life. It's an actual religion that people follow.
Yeah.
But if you want to go with like the Hollywood vampires, then it's a cryptid and paranormal though, because they have paranormal abilities, and we haven't verified their existence. So yeah, they are cryptids also.
You're right.
Because we can't just say, hey, here's a picture of a vampire. They're real. Here you go. Yeah, they're still unknown to us. So yeah, they are cryptid and paranormal.
Yeah, but as far as the religion goes, how that works is that they have like parties And
Mhm.
they have people come to the party that are willing to give their own blood for these people to drink.
Really?
Yes.
Yep. Bloodletting. Yep.
Like I mean, because there's what, almost 6 different types of vampires, right? In
Yeah.
the mythos. Like the most prevalent one is what, the psychic vampire that has no corporeal form. It's like a mist that drains people.
Right.
Now, is that still considered a cryptid, or is that considered paranormal?
That's more on the paranormal scale, I would think.
Yeah, that's like some of the like if you're on an investigation, you see a white mist,
Yeah,
your batteries and your energy, you're physically feeling drained. That's
right.
because they're draining you. So, in a sense, that is a vampire because it's draining you.
Gotcha.
Now,
So,
I could probably get you somebody in here to talk all about vampires, but
well, I've never been a vampire searcher or whatever. It's just that's the one thing that I'm like, that is way too amazing of abilities, and for what little consequences that you have to suffer for it.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, this guy believes he is one. So
Oh,
Yeah, and it's weird too when you because these people that throw these parties,
yeah.
they dress gothic. I mean, some of the men dress up like they were Gary Oldman from the freaking Dracula movie.
Yeah, it's because
Really?
it's popular. Yeah, that's what they
Yeah.
believe vampires look like.
Hmm. I
You know,
just
so it's really a bizarre scene. I mean, supposedly all the people that are volunteered with the bloodletting and all that,
yeah.
of course, they're checked, make sure that everything is straight and narrow across the board. You know, so they do take their precautions, but they really think that drinking blood, fresh blood, is like the life that gives them energy.
Really.
Yep.
Right.
See, I think like a stereotypical vampire. I don't think they would tell you to go and get your blood work done and everything before I bite into you.
Like Tales from the Crypt, huh? You saw the Tales from the Crypt episode.
Yeah, like it's just, like I I can understand, them, but even like even some of the blood tribes in Africa and everything, they don't care when they bleed out, a virgin's blood and drink it for their rituals. Like,
Mhm.
be gone, Granddaddy Longlegs. But sorry, it was just chilling on my lap.
I kill a spider.
Oh no, they're.
Yeah, to hell with the spiders, man.
I'm sorry. I know, Ryan. It was just sitting there staring at me, and I was like, "Go away."
Let them stare over there, man. But
Yeah.
I think I think the blood drinking thing that kind of stems from Christianity too.
Yeah.
Because they always say that the power is in the blood of Jesus Christ. So I think these people kind of took it that the power is in the blood of anybody.
Yeah.
But if you want to talk about cryptid vampires, then look at the Strigoi.
I've heard of that. Yeah.
Those are the more bestial kinds that are known to hide in walls and build nests and creep
Mhm.
out at night and steal unsuspecting kids. Those are the bad guys.
Well, that also goes with the Australian vampire. What is it called? The ones that stay in Vampire Rock. It starts with a Y. What is it called? I don't even remember. But anyways, it's like that. They're more beast, and they look like the Nosferatu type vampires, but like a mix between that and an ogre.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the ugly ones.
Yeah, like they have like these
Like Mr. Barlow.
connecting. Do what?
Mr. Barlow.
Yeah,
Yes.
like they have those little connecting wings under their armpits and stuff that allow them to flutter around. Yeah, I think, you know, if they look like half, you know, Nosferatu and a ogre, I don't think that little bit of, you know, skin is going to allow them to.
Yeah.
You'll see one like face planting off a vampire rock into the dirt.
That would be my luck.
Yeah.
I can fly. Wham! No, I can't.
If any, well, have y'all heard the story? There is a person that said that they are. It was on YouTube about it, and it's called the Lost Boys or whatever, the Lost Boys of Seattle.
Oh yeah, I did watch that.
Yeah, it's a group of 4 teenage boys. Well, this couple, they were watching a movie at a movie theater and everything, and when they came out, they were hungry, so they went to go get dinner at this local diner, and they were the only ones in there besides these 4 teenage boys that were sitting in a dark corner of the diner, and they looked and dressed like the vampires from the Lost Boys, like the movie. And well, at first his fiance or girlfriend or whatever, she caught their attention, and they started talking to her, like over the boyfriend and everything. And she was like, no, and like trying to ignore them. And after they ate, he hurried up and paid the bill, and they were trying to walk back to the car. And these boys were still following them and making hoop noises and all this stuff at them, and telling him his name was Teddy. And for some reason, they knew his name. And they said, Teddy, you better watch your back tonight, because we're coming for you. And he's like, what the hell? You're like, how do you know my name? And when he turned around to, you know, confront them, they were gone. So they got in the car, drove to their townhome that was in the city, and they thought they saw 4 shadows in the alleyway. And he hurried up, got her in the house. He got in the house, locked the doors, and they were sitting there watching TV. And all of a sudden, the door started banging very heavily. And he got up and went to go look through the peephole, and they were sitting there on his porch, like on his steps, and and telling him by name to let them inside. You know, they're hungry. And he's like, I'm not letting you inside. I'm not going to feed you. Then they're like, but we're thirsty. We need something to drink. And he's like, I'm not giving you anything. And he told his girlfriend to call the cops. And she called the cops and everything. And he was still watching through the peephole. And by the time the cops came and everything, all 4 of them jumped straight up in the air and disappeared.
I'll be handing him some Kool-Aid.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, I mean, if you go by, you know, urban myth and everything, like if you open your door like that, that's letting them into them. So I don't know. I really don't know anything about it. Then I don't know if it's a creepypasta. I don't know what, but
Well, that's like the same thing with the black-eyed children.
yeah,
Black-eyed children isn't just necessarily children,
right.
but it's like I've heard stories of them knocking on your door, and you're not supposed to open the door for them either.
Oh, really?
Yeah, no,
Yep.
never open the door for those guys.
Yeah, even in your car. Like if they knock on you, if you're sitting in your car, I've heard stories of them walking up to your car and banging on the door, on the window, saying, "Can you give me a ride?" or whatever.
Nope.
Huh.
But the thing, what's weird is I just recently read a story that no, I can't verify this if it's true or not, but
Yeah.
because I wasn't there. But the story goes that there was a knock at the door. There was this couple there, knocked on the door, and they went to the door and they said, "Can you let us use the phone to call for a ride?"
Mhm.
And they opened up the door and they let the two little kids in.
Right.
Both had black eyes, and they made their phone call. And within the hour, a car pulled in the driveway, and two big men dressed in black, sound very eerie, like Men in Black,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
grabbed the kids, brought them out to the car. They got in the back seat. The car pulled away. He died of a heart attack within a month later.
What?
And within 6 months, she was diagnosed with cancer and died from cancer.
You've got to be kidding me.
That's freaking weird. I ain't messing no kids.
Yeah, no.
Okay,
That's
so
why
that
if they
freaked
knock on your door, dude, just tell them you ain't got to go home, but you can't stay here, and just shoo them off.
Yep.
Okay, that freaks me out because they're at the Onion Huebner place that I guard. There's a single picture that's right that. Okay, if you're looking at the fireplace, it's on the right-hand side of the fireplace mantle, and there's a single like watercolor picture drawn, and it's a little boy and a little girl that are both blonde hair, but their eyes are black, like not completely black, but like the areas around their eyes are black.
Yep.
And this is supposed to be a part of the Huebner family, like the Huebner children. But like you can see the white in the pupils, but the whole entire area around is black.
Well, supposedly, from what I understand, black-eyed people, there's a picture right there.
Yeah.
That's basically, of course, that's me. I don't have black eyes, but.
Well, yeah,
I hope not.
that's kind of like how their eyes are, like the black around it.
Right.
Oh God.
Nice.
You
And,
welcome.
and now that you know you're thinking about it, you think about those pictures that we caught about the little boy that was in front of him. Where the big black circles.
Yeah. Oh.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Jackson.
You know you had to.
Was that a sign? What was that, Vale?
That was an aspirin bottle that came flying from across the room.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. What was that?
That's the Puckwudgie saying, "I want food."
Well, reason why she abruptly left the basement is because there was something down there that she doesn't want to be around.
Right.
Hmm.
Yeah. I
mean,
I
whatever.
heard something lift up. I didn't know.
Yeah, I mean, she like, she saw something in the basement. It doesn't like her, and she doesn't like it. So she's like, "Nope, I'm done. I'm out of here."
Do you
Yeah, I
think?
get that feeling all the time in public. It's a shame.
Are you okay, sis?
Yeah, it's not the first time that they've tried to gather my attention.
Okay. Like, yeah. That Onion Huebner place, after my phone and everything died, the motion alarm went up on the second floor, went off. And I went up there, and the master bedroom, the covers, the pillows, everything was thrown into the middle of the room, like a big pile. And the pillows were just on top of it, and it looked like when I had the flashlight on and everything, when I looked by it, it looked like a giant frog to me.
Whoa.
Like the way it was mounded up. Yeah. Yeah. And I picked it. I went to go pick it up and everything, and I don't know. That slit down my finger, and that happened. Like, it felt like a cat latched in onto my finger, and
Could have been.
yeah, I don't know, and I pulled my hand back, and I was I cussed so many words at whatever it was. But I just, y'all ready to answer some questions if these people want to ask about anything?
Sure.
Absolutely.
So, chat, if y'all want to ask these lovely people any questions about pros, cons, things that they hate, that we hate about our fields, like, or if you want to know what they use and when they go paranormal hunting, or what me and Ryan use when we go cryptid hunting, go ahead and ask.
Well, I would think that it's all the same basic equipment.
Yeah, it is. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's just more on like, y'all don't really have to worry about like survival gear.
I usually go out with a bare minimum, man. Just like one camera, my phone, my dog, and that's it. See,
I got my 3-day pack. I've got I got my emergency gas mask that's filled to the brim with anything from my hammock and med kit, and so like, I got my knives, I got my ferro rods, I've got
I have enough backpack for moving. That's what I have.
Nice. Always go with Matt and Nicole. You'll be safe with them.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't have all that survival gear. Well, I have a hatchet. I mean, might help a little bit. I have a lighter.
A hatchet is a multi-purpose tool is the very first multi-tool. If it's carbon steel, you can strike that with quartz or anything, get a spark off of it to light your tinder, to make a fire. I mean, you have the blade to cut down branches, to split wood. You have a hammer on the back of it. It was literally the first multi-tool.
Unless your name's Lizzie Borden.
Yeah, right.
Hey, that worked wonders for her too.
Oh, come on. She just wanted to bury the hatchet.
You're right. Oh God. Oh.
And we're sacked.
Mhm. It's okay. They
I-
don't care about me.
I was just sitting there looking over this, trying to figure out where this bottle came from.
But where was it?
It was over on the china cabinet.
Well, how far is that from where you're sitting?
Probably about 3 feet.
Oh, that's really close. Okay.
She just sent me a message that almost hit her straight in the face.
Yeah, I saw that when it flew across the screen.
Yeah, same here.
It's like, what the hell?
That's why I was like, what was that? Like,
Yeah, because I'm sitting there watching it, and it's not like it comes like from where's the screen at? It doesn't come like down here. It's
Yeah.
more like up here, you know.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty damn good aim for a spirit with the pill bottle.
So, wow, where you all going with that? I know Edward passed behind me a while ago, but he's standing over there. I can see him.
Right.
I don't know. Anyway, sorry.
Val, your sister asked, "Do you want to build a zombie?"
Well,
Because you found that hand.
yeah, right. You got the rest of the parts because I'm not going after them.
Instead of you want to build a snowman, you might have built a zombie.
I can see that as a meme now.
Come, my children.
But I recently was watching a documentary, and it was one of the one of the very first people on the very first few seasons that was on a TV show many moons ago. They stopped that TV show, but now they're back with
There you go.
a whole new crew. But the thing is that I'm trying to say is this particular person was saying that what you see and hear about investigators having all the time, the DVR camera and all this different equipment, you don't need any of that to catch evidence. Which I tend to disagree with him, because the more equipment you have and the more hits you have on equipment simultaneously gives you validation of what you caught.
Especially if you can pick it up from different angles.
Correct.
Yeah. And see that, like I've told Nicole, and you've probably heard it, Jax, and Ryan's heard it from me, but the paranormal community and y'all's technology is amazing. When it comes to cryptids, our technology is crap. Like literally crap. They're like, oh, you could take trail cams and blah 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 out there. No, you can't. If you're dealing with an entity that a creature that has semi-human intelligence, that knows what this stuff is, it's been around us for hundreds of years, seeing hunters set these things up, you might as well, be shooting, bird shot through Swiss cheese. Like, yeah, you may hit it, but most likely you're going to go through different holes. Do you agree, Ryan?
Absolutely, yes. Definitely would agree with you on that one, man.
Yeah, it's just, that's why I wonder if the creators of the paranormal stuff and technology would open up to other fields and create other boxes. Like, other kinds of technology to help in the cryptid field.
You mean like something to produce howls or something like that for Bigfoot
Yeah.
or Dogman?
Well, like what is it? The REM pod? Is that what it is?
No, REM pod picks up the energy around it. So when a spirit gets close to it, the lights will go off and it'll make a buzzing sound.
Well, I'm wondering because there has been cases of Sasquatches digesting quartz crystals for some unknown reason. And I'm wondering if maybe they do put off some kind of like some kind of aura field, or maybe some kind of electrical field that may affect it. What do you think, Jax?
Maybe it's quartz crystals does give off an energy, so maybe they're trying to feed off of it too.
Yeah,
that's what I'm thinking. But
yeah, that's what I was going to say too.
Bill, what do you think?
Yeah, I really don't know. I don't. I mean, they're so elusive. I mean, it's like, with a spirit. I mean, if they're here, and we can get a sense and an idea of what to use and when they're around. Some of us, but with the cryptids, I mean, it seems like they're so elusive. I mean,
right.
What language do you use if they have a certain language, and how do you get that into a box like we would use with the English language, the Spanish, German, whatever they use? We know it's a language.
Yeah.
Right.
So there's not anything really for a cryptid language, and how broad of a language is that? Do they all speak something different?
Yeah.
So,
well, see, 'cause, like what you were saying about the language, like most of these cryptid hunters run out with monkey noises and gorilla calls, and
that's the worst thing you can do.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, you can. I wonder if enough of us cryptid hunters that have captured clear enough audio could maybe turn that into a format on, say, a spirit box.
That's an idea.
Yeah, if you knew what that language meant. I think where they're catching the monkey noises, it's just like with people. Whenever you get upset and you go, ugh, what if that's what they're hearing before they hear the actual language that is being spoken? We might say, oh, God, that just drives me nuts.
Yeah.
They don't hear the, oh, God, that drives me nuts, so they automatically think, well, they're speaking monkey out there.
Right.
So,
I mean, there was a big leap. I mean, especially with, and I hate to use the term, but ghost hunting. Because before, a lot of people were just using like radios and white noise and stuff like that. But then there was a piece of equipment that came out, was the SB7, which was like unheard of because you could speed up the rate on it, to get some of the radio bleed. But then there's the other group of people that would sit there and say, okay, because there's radio bleed still coming through, you don't know whether if it's actual spirit or if it's coming from the radio.
Right.
But you get like, it's going so fast that there's no way that the radio could possibly, that's radio bleed.
Yeah. Well, I read a small article in a North Carolina. Well, a professor, he hauled a tube radio from the 50s and a battery out to the middle of God knows where, to a crystal cave, and he hooked it up to the battery, and he was getting a lot of white noise, but then he was hearing hoops in the background, but on the tube radio, he was getting semi-legible, like understandable language coming through the radio at him when the hoops and howls and growls was coming through. So, but it was like a 2-paragraph article about this, and it happened in the 70s. I want to say it was like 73, and it just seems that maybe they are communicating with us, but the language barrier, maybe it could be because of the veil or the ley lines or something, that when they cross over, maybe it makes their language unintelligible to us.
Maybe.
Like, is there any kind of like motion detecting equipment that I know you have? What is it called? The SLS or the stick figure?
Yep, SLS. Yep.
Yeah, that's what it's called. Okay. I wonder if that would work. But I know Vale said that the tree movements and stuff like that would also affect it. So I'm just wondering if maybe like an opening, maybe you could catch something with that.
I mean, you can catch when you record with that thing. That's what makes it so iffy.
Yeah,
is because it can put like little stick figures on different things,
right.
like trees, backpacks sitting in the room, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But it can pick up, other things that, like, I've caught stuff that I know was 2 little kids, and I asked them to stick their hand in my hand and did both times. So I know that some things are legit, but other things, you got to question. And there's always a little saying, when in doubt, throw it out.
Yeah.
Yep.
I heard my name.
Did you?
All right, Matt, I will be right back again, man.
All right, brother, go ahead. I was talking about when you were telling me about the SLS camera that could be affected by the trees.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's why I said your name, sis.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think those things are best in a controlled environment. I mean, if you got, a limb or something out there moving around, it could think it's an arm or something.
Right. And I mean, has it ever been tested on animals, like to see, like, I don't know, has anybody tested it, like, say on their dog or a cat to see if it does the same thing? Or
It does. It does.
oh, does it?
Yeah.
Okay. I just, with the cryptids, it's just, I know y'all need more technology because you're working with a different element. You're working with energy more than physical.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just coming through. Like, if there was something in the technology that could help us easier on the cryptid side, instead of waiting out in the woods for 15 hours and hoping that Bigfoot walks by, or going out and, because most people in the cryptid, they don't have the time to actually track and hunt these creatures like I do. And they get 1 to 2 days, and you really can't go out in the middle of the woods, and sit there and move from one place to another and be back to work the next day. So I'm just thinking maybe being able to track something or set something there that they don't know yet.
Mm-hmm.
Because that seems like that's the only way to be able to truly capture a cryptid, is using some form of technology that they do not know.
Yeah, you're gonna have to create that because you're dealing with, like, let's say an actual animal. Let's say, okay,
Right.
you're dealing with something that has a possibility of having mass and reality to it.
Yeah.
Whereas with the paranormal, everybody knows, our bodies used to be, or energy and stuff like that. Energy can be measured, and we have something to work with.
Yeah.
Whereas an intelligent animal, I mean, you're gonna have to come up with something that, like you just said, is new to them, that they're, not gonna figure out on the fly, because, even paranormal,
Mhm.
I mean, it's always changing. I mean, they
Yeah.
always have something new. So you're gonna have to find something that they don't understand and try to, it just might be like the paranormal. We have to sit out there, sometimes hours and hours and still don't catch anything, but
Right. Yeah. It just, I don't know.
just take your knowledge of what you know of them. Okay, they cover themselves in mud, so
Mhm.
at times they're not going to run a temperature. If they do, it could be cold mud. I mean, uh,
Right.
something, some kind of imaging device that's going to, actually maybe show you the pixelation, the trees and what's moving beyond the trees. There's got to be some kind of imaging there that you can use,
Mhm.
that's going to break up depth and color variations,
Yeah.
movement.
See, I had a friend, and he created a GPS tracker that we put in a piece of meat and left it out in the woods. And whenever it was eaten, it would turn on. Like as soon as it got, like when they bit down into it to lift it into their mouth or whatever, it would turn on. It would like break like a capsule and turn on. And we set that out over in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, for the wood booger. And well, it activated. We set it out one night. 2 days later, it was activated, and this thing was moving fast. And when we got to the area that the tracker stopped, it was a coyote that ate it.
Mm.
So,
Yeah, so you're dealing with all kinds of things. I mean,
yeah. But the thing was, like, we hung the piece of meat up in a tree, you know? So how did the coyote get up in the tree to eat it? Or did the Sasquatch take it down, smell it, and say, no, I don't want this, and drop it?
yeah,
That
didn't have had your scent on it, possibly.
right. And that's what I'm wondering too.
Use a lot of bleach or ammonia to cover your scent. I mean, just like with anything, I mean, it really stinks. But you ever try covering yourself in that hunter's deer urine stuff?
Yeah, I have done that.
And I have returned.
What's up, brother?
Not much, man. What did I miss?
Oh, just talking about when me and one of my friends, we made a cracker chip, and we put it in a piece of meat in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, trying to find a wood booger.
Mm-hmm.
And we tied the piece of meat up in a tree, and we were there one day. We set it up. hoping that the Bigfoot would eat it, because once it broke, it would turn on.
Okay.
And well, we put the meat up in a tree and everything, and the next day it turned on, and we tracked it, and come to find out it was a coyote that ate the meat. But what I was talking about them was, we hung it up in a tree. How did a coyote get it? And I was thinking that maybe the Sasquatch grabbed the meat and smelt it
And then toss it
and
aside.
threw it down.
That would make sense.
Yeah. But I was, if we could work together, like, if there's anybody out there that would like to work with me on this, that knows how to do paranormal equipment, like,
Am I here?
you are frozen, sis.
You're frozen. Yeah, it looks like you're sleeping.
Yeah.
Looks like we put you to sleep there.
What in the world? On mine, it doesn't even show I'm here. Wow. Okay.
You can hear us, right?
Yeah, I'm here, but I'm not here.
Can you hear me now? Good.
Yeah, it's still got you frozen on that picture.
Okay. Yeah, I guess that's weird.
Thanks for that, Ryan. Thanks for telling Sela about that.
Oh, no problem.
Drop out and come back in, Bill.
Yeah, do that. I'll let you back in, Bill.
It's a weird name. People aren't used to that term, wood booger.
Yeah, it's a term in the South. It's like the boogeyman, but
right,
the boogeyman that's in the woods. So
Michael
wood
Myers?
booger. Yeah. ELE, what? Oh, jeez. But yeah, I don't know. I just see the paranormal technology just evolving every day, and when it comes to cryptid stuff, either you have to make it yourself because nobody else wants to spend the time on it.
I think there's some reluctance. I think people are kind of nervous because with Bigfoot or Dogman, we don't know what the grunts or the barks or the howls mean. So yeah. I think really the best way to go about that is the body language we use.
Right.
The facial expressions and how we move when we're around them. It'll kind of show them what our intentions are and show us what their intentions are.
Thank you, sis. Yeah, let him know. I mean, like, we need more technology in the cryptid field. Hey, there you are.
Hey, I had to completely remove the other camera.
Huh.
I don't know what's going on over here at the present moment.
Yeah. I think that's one of the worst things I hate about cryptid field is just we don't have the technology, and even you could have the brand new iPhone and take a video recording of a Sasquatch, and it's blurry as crap and no good footage, anything. What is screwing that up? Is it that aura that I'm thinking? Like, could it be the aura? Like,
are you talking about on the video footage? Why is it blurry?
Yeah.
The operator.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's like we were talking about earlier.
Right.
And Ryan said it perfectly. It's because chances are that video is probably fake.
Yeah. Yeah.
Every single video is either blurry or it's only five seconds long.
Yeah.
I mean, if you really saw something,
you really see something and you really want to prove it, you're going to run after it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I am.
I mean, if you're going to get that money shot right off the bat where you're going to show the whole body, then it's just too good to be true.
But what about those ones? Like, I know deep down in my gut they are fake, like so fake. But the dead perfect ones, like, what was it? There's a video where a Sasquatch is walking behind boulders and going and picking up a baby Sasquatch and walking away with it. And
the Independence Day footage,
yeah, like it is just perfect. Like it's on a tripod and just staged for that right moment,
right?
Yeah, it's like that is complete perfect, and we can't. But anybody else that's claiming to have real footage, it's all grainy and horrible.
I think the best we're gonna get is either the Gimlin footage or the Freeman footage at this point.
Yeah.
Freeman footage is great. I mean, a lot of people pay attention to the Gimlin footage only, but Freeman caught some good stuff.
That is true. That is very true.
But even the Gimlin footage, they're even trying to debunk that. So.
Yeah, they've been trying to do that for years.
Well, they keep saying that it's a guy in a monkey costume.
Well, I saw a documentary on that, okay? And they brought in an athlete, and they put the stop motion dot things, ping pongs on them.
Yeah.
And he tried to duplicate that walk and could not do that walk.
Right. And also, if you just look at it, when that Sasquatch turns around, what is the most prominent thing you see on that Sasquatch?
Breast.
You see breast, right. It's a female Sasquatch. And they literally, not to offend anybody, but they jiggle. Like, when it turns around, you see the underneath jiggle. Like, how can you fake that? Like in the 60s,
you couldn't. Not back in those days.
Well,
I mean, even if you got a 300-pound man out there, he doesn't have that kind of jiggle.
No,
unless he's got gynecomastia.
Right. Well, yeah.
I mean, there's only one thing to say that could possibly, and I'm just throwing this out there.
Do it.
He had connections to Hollywood. That's the only thing that I can possibly think of.
Yeah. See,
but then again, at that time, I really don't think that he had connections to Hollywood.
Right. Yeah. I mean, even though in the 60s there was a lot of one-shot movie. Oh, you okay there?
Oh, yeah.
It's starting to come to your house now.
I thought something sounded like a bowling ball thrown at him. That's what y'all spirits need. Y'all have to take a bowling ball at Jack's to take him out. But yeah, I don't know. So many people have tried for years to debunk that video, and I believe it's because it's so clear and until those moments where he's picking it up and following, but it's one of those things too that people ask, why didn't he shoot it? Because he was a hunter also.
Well, first of all, he was thrown to the ground.
Yeah.
Secondly, he had a camera in his hand and he's trying to get up. Even if he had time to put keep the camera down on the ground, get up, untie his gun that was tied to his saddle. Well, what you're supposed to do is say, "Oh, wait a minute, don't move. Let me get my gun first." Okay, now you can move.
Right.
Well, here's the thing where it's interesting though, because he wasn't alone. His buddy was actually on horseback.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, he was already armed. He already had his gun loaded, ready to go. But they chose not to shoot it because they saw its face.
Yeah.
Did you know that some places in California, it's against the law to shoot a Bigfoot. If you
Yeah.
kill a Bigfoot, you get charges up on murder.
Yeah.
Same thing in New York, New Jersey, Virginia, Tennessee, but Texas, you're allowed to shoot a Bigfoot.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, Washington State, back in the 70s, I can't remember. I think it was around mid 70s, 75, somewhere around in there. They put out a book about indigenous life that live out in the state of Washington.
Right.
Bigfoot was in that book.
Really?
So
Yes,
if
sir.
the United States government is going to put out a book like that to say that Bigfoot lives out there.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. Well, supposedly the Austin, Texas wildlife sanctuary has reports of Bigfoot sightings, Bigfoot prints, and it is in Austin, Texas. Bigfoot is now protected in just the city of Austin.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. That's where I have been out to Austin so many times, and I have not found any tracks, any traces, any foraging anywhere out there. So, and Austin's not that big of a place. So it's like I've been, I'm only an hour drive away from it. So,
have you ever found any tracks?
Oh yeah, I found plenty of tracks. I found hair samples. I found scat. My tent when I was hunting for a devil for the Ozark howler, which is a type of devil monkey here in Texas. I was camping in my tent, and I was woken up by something being thrown at my tent. It went thud and hit the ground. And I opened up my tent and everything and got out, looked around, didn't see anything until I turned around to the back of the tent. And there was a half chewed on deer leg with scat on it that was thrown against my tent. And I've never had video footage. I've never had a picture, but I've had encounters.
I'm a bit confused. How if it was thrown against your tent, how could it have scat on it?
The scat was dried. Like, in the bend of the knee,
right?
It was bent, and the scat was covered over it.
Wow.
Like covered over it and thrown at it. Like I sent Ryan the pictures of it, and my phone's in the inside, but I'll send you the pictures of it and everything, Jax.
He like flap his butt with it and throw it at you.
Well, supposedly from what other cryptozoologists say is they cover bones and stuff with scat and throw it to certain areas as like a territorial marker.
Yep, it's a territory thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, boils and ghouls. I hate to dip out, but it is getting kind of late for me.
Thank you, Ryan. Thank you, brother.
Oh, no. Thanks for having me on here, bro. Always a pleasure. Nicole, Jax, great to see you guys again.
Good to see you again. I will not take your crayons anymore.
Yeah, you owe me some red crayons, man.
I got it.
Everybody, if y'all don't know Ryan, go check him out at Whisper to a Scream podcast. And
grab me a sub, guys.
You want
Hope
to
to
tell
see
them
you guys
about your
around.
channel first before you leave?
Absolutely, yeah. I'll be picking up where the Venomous Fringe left off. I'll be doing weekly videos along with live streams talking about cryptids, cryptid theories, UFOs, whatever you want to talk about. Drop me a sub. I hope to see you guys there.
Thank you, brother.
All right. Thanks for having me on, bro. I will talk
Hey.
to you later.
Anytime, brother. You take care.
Okay.
All right. Night, everybody.
Have a
Good night. So, anyways, like, I don't know. I've had multiple different encounters. I've had, I don't know if it was a Sasquatch or a dog man walking outside my tent, probably about 5 foot away from my tent. And the first thing in my mind was not, oh, let me grab a camera and jump out and take a picture of it, you know? But I literally stayed there until it got far enough away from me to where I could safely get out without being attacked.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, yeah, if I was out in the open and everything and I saw that, yeah, I'm going to grab my phone and take a picture. But I just woke up. I did not have boots on. Like,
Oh, I'm not blue. Never mind.
yeah, like if I jumped up out of that tent and said, boo, take a picture, you know, like I would be dead. Y'all would not see me anymore. Like, and that's why go ahead, sis.
I'd been hunkered in my tent in my sleeping bag, peeking over the edge.
Yeah, you know, on that night it was a full moon, and I could see a shadow walking by, you know, and that fight or flight thing kicks in when it's that close to you. It's what am I going to do? You know, I'm going to stab it once or twice before I die. Like, and somebody will find my campsite and my phone later on.
I'd be like Wolverine.
Right? I guess it's all great in theory. And these people that's showing pictures of, oh, I was 5 foot away from a Sasquatch in the middle of the woods and I took a video of it, you know, like,
right.
No, when you see these things, unless you're ready for it, you don't have, oh, I'm going to go grab my camera and take a picture. That's the last thing on your mind. And I tell you that from experience. Like, it's terrifying. It's just
a lot of people are like that with, you know, the paranormal stuff. I mean, a door opens or something and they're had that fight or flight mode kind of taken off, and of course, you know, I hear them tell a demon was after me, but yeah.
Right. Yeah, you know, like, oh god.
Yeah.
What does Shadow say? Here, I'll put it up. I'll put it up here. There we go.
Yeah. I don't know how anyone has their phone ready. LOL. Even when stuff happen, I am drawn to watch it, and I'm not even thinking about my phone. I'm trying to figure out what it is. Right.
Right. And that, you know, that's why I believe a majority of this stuff on the cryptid side is fake. And I don't want to say it, but experiencing it in real life, just like what Shadow said, that's the last thing on my mind is grabbing a phone. And it's my on my mind is my safety and getting back to my wife. You know, and if I die, she's gonna find any way in the world to resurrect me and kill me again.
I told you.
Right?
I can hear now.
Yeah, like it's just I don't want to put that worry on my family. You know, like, and I know that's probably the same way with y'all in paranormal hunting. You don't want to go to some very dangerous abandoned place where there's nails sticking up out of the wall or something collapsing in, and you know, you may or may not be able to come back from.
Yeah, and there are. I mean, I'm not saying that the B word is out there, but I mean,
Yeah,
there's that chance. I mean, to run into something that can, really put the fixes to you, as my grandma used to say.
right.
Put the hurt on you.
Well, that's just it, is that, when we go to these places, I mean, we literally, like, we could be putting our life in danger pretty much.
Yeah.
I mean, it's why, people are wondering, like, and I know people are wondering, why I don't have more investigation videos up on. It's because I'm by myself, literally. And the golden rule is never go by yourself.
Right.
So I don't do anything by myself. If I do, like, we got something planned coming up for Halloween, that I'm going to attempt to go to that place where the Indians were slaughtered.
Really?
By myself, but I'm going to be live with Vale. She'll have the emergency phone number for the police department if anything happens.
Right.
Yeah, I'm nervous about it, but we'll see what happens.
See, yeah, my wife, she found me the SOS GPS beacon on Alibaba. It was on sale. It's the Gen 1. It was on sale for like $250, and I bought it. And that thing works anywhere. Like, you could be in the middle of who knows where, and you hit that alert beacon, it will send a GPS to all rescue teams within that whole entire state and the closest state next to it. Like, if you're closer to one other state's border than the other, it'll send it to them too. And it always sends her a text every 30 minutes letting her know my GPS and where I am and if I'm good, or like, it'll say I'm okay, I'm here. And I mean, you need that in a lot of areas out here in Texas because of rattlesnakes. I mean, scorpions. I mean, mountain lions.
I might invest me in one of those.
Right? Yeah.
They will work anywhere. Like, you could be in the middle of the ocean and it will work because it goes on satellite.
Right.
Yeah, because the sketchy thing out here, I mean, it's not exactly, I mean, yeah, we are in the Ozark Mountains. You can fall off a cliff face, I mean, and land 300 feet down. But
yep.
The big thing around here are these backwoods territories that you don't know, and you walk up in somebody's crops, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
You're liable to get shot.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I came from the Appalachians, so yeah.
And there's a lot of uncharted territory out here, and only the people that live in this area or live around that uncharted territory are going to know that territory.
Yep. So, and that's usually when I go to a new place, like Babyhead Cemetery. I go and I talk to the locals. Like, I will go to a local biker bar or whatever. I will buy them a drink and say, I'm only here because I need to know information about this haunted location. And they look at me like, what?
All right.
Yeah.
Yep.
But I mean, 90% of these people, you know, they're decent people as long as you go to them on their turf, you know. It's
But some of them still around here real sketchy.
yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, I mean, the biker bar that I went into, baby maker head bar. Yeah, it was it was a sight, I'll tell you that. The whole entire walls were license plates, and the roof all had hats of different sizes and different eras and everything on it. And they said if you can outshoot the bartender, you can choose any of those hats and take it home with you.
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah. Like that was a perfect bar.
The kind of bars you run into down here actually have Joe Smo over there in the corner who has a motor broke down. You know, he's sitting there, you know, torque wrenching on it while you're having a beer. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Where am I?
Right. It's one of those bars like you got a pretty mouth.
Right. There's like 9 big swamper trucks out front. I mean,
those are the perfect people to go cryptid hunting with because they know those spots.
Yeah. Let me introduce you to some people.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Like my cousin Bobby. Oh, he saw something last week with his ex-girlfriend, Sheila. It's like you get the whole rundown.
Let me take you out there.
Right. You're kind of like, should I go?
Right.
Have you had any of those kind of weird experiences, Jack?
No, the only weird one I had is when I did the whoop and got monkey sounds back in a growl.
Right.
I can't wait to say welcome to Missouri.
I don't know. Like you run into a whole entire different breed of people in the small towns. Like they're eager to tell you their history of their town, you know? And I like that better than being on the computer and having to search everything, because if you don't type it in perfectly, you get God knows what coming up, you know? Yeah.
People I know ain't willing to tell you squat because one, they don't want people like to know their business. I mean, they're kind of, we call them Peyton around here. If you all know what Peyton means, they're Peyton kind of people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, which means they ain't telling you jack nada because they don't need you up in their business.
Yep.
But yeah. So it's really hard to do anything around here.
Yeah, you can't even go to places. I mean, you just went to a place where you were told to never go back there because something might happen to you.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, that I don't know. It out here in Texas, you know, the people are a little more lenient, I guess, about telling their business. I mean, not telling their business, but telling you where you can go. But they're like, I can't guarantee your safety if you go there. Because in Texas, they can shoot you on their property.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like, and you'll pass by a lot of ranches that say, "Danger, we own guns and shovels." It's
And
uh
that's no joke either. They're dead serious with those
yeah,
signs.
they are. Like there's one of my neighbors over here. They own 46 acres, and if you step on their if you step on their land, they make prickly pear moonshine. And if you step on their land, they will put you in the ground because they don't want you knowing where their moonshine still is.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. Sorry, my back is twitching.
Yeah, I think I'm just about ready to. I was going to shoot this video, but yeah, it's 2 o'clock in the morning, and
Yeah.
I got some issues that I'm not dealing with tonight. So
No problem. I mean, like on my land, there's supposed to be a lady in teal that walks around my land, and I hear a lady crying sometimes in my woods, and I don't know, it's kind of creepy. Like she only makes herself known to males. Like she'll hide from females.
better make sure she's not a siren.
I don't know. I really don't know. But thanks, Val.
Welcome.
All right. Hey, thank y'all both so much for coming on.
Yeah,
You're welcome.
thanks for having me up here.
Always, y'all are my family. So
Maybe we'll do something a little more creepy next time.
yeah, I'll think of something. Y'all can help me.
Oh, just go to where you work, and we'll show you the black-eyed children.
No, I'm good. Oh, I may actually go there Sunday because I may have to work, and I may actually videotape. I may go there like an hour early and actually show you the inside of this house and where my finger got all cut up. And yeah,
Did you tell anybody about the chair yet?
no. Well, I have a body camera that I have to film on the inside, just for my protection and also so that they can cancel this contract that they have with the state because nobody wants to stay here. And well, but I did talk to one of the ladies that was there, and I told them that one of my medium friends told me that this chair is in the wrong spot, and she said that they had to put that chair under the stairway because too many kids were sitting in it.
He don't want it there.
Yeah, I mean, I said, you do have a very active spirit here, and he does not like it. And maybe if you move it, he'll calm down. And she just looked at me like I was retarded when I said you had an active spirit here.
Yeah, see, once again, I get that all the time, and I would love to help him and try to get people. This is what he wants. I mean, it could calm down if you just listen to them.
Yeah. Well, I'm a paid security guard. I don't know anything. I have no name. I'm not I don't wear bedazzled shirts and
Yeah, me neither.
yeah. So I guess
I'm worried about calling Four Fingers tomorrow, but got to do something.
Right? You could always build a zombie.
Right. I don't know what they're gonna do, but
they'll probably just rebury. I mean,
Well, it's in a washout. I mean, it looks like, I guess whenever they built the house, there's like a new house up there.
Yeah.
So they're going to redirect, the water that comes off that property. So now it's going down through the cemetery and it created a wash. Well, all that's getting uncovered.
Yeah, well, if it starts doing that, they may bring an archaeological team in and just to uncover the bones because it's still history,
Right.
Yeah.
Thank you, Shadows.
Thank you, Shadows. Missy.
Yeah, Rev. I'm a uniform with a body cam. Yeah, pretty much.
So I'm gonna get off here so I can call about Four Fingers in the morning, and
No problem.
that's what I'm gonna call him.
I'm just gonna nickname him Four Fingers.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's like, how you doing?
Thank y'all so much for joining.
You're welcome. Thank you for having us.
Hey, anytime. And if I can do a live tomorrow, I will let y'all know, and I'll post it and get up there. So,
Okay.
All right.
All right. Take care. I love y'all.
All
Have
right.
a good one. Everybody in chat. Have a good one.
Take care, everybody in chat.
Go
Y'all have a good one, and thank y'all all for joining. Take care. Bye.
Bye.
Take care, everybody. Oh, how do I shut this off? Do I gotta leave studio? Or love you, Velsis. Love you, Jax, bro. Like, y'all take care. Thank you, Shadows. Good night, David, brother. In stream at top. Okay. Thanks, Phil. All right. Bye, everybody. Love y'all.